Grace and peace, everyone. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us on a little bit on a Friday evening. Hopefully, it's dry wherever you are. Hopefully, you all are safe. We had some pretty gnarly storms here in Georgia, but nothing that we can't overcome. So, definitely praying for those people that were adversely affected by the storm for sure. But we are nonetheless, we're back. So, you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. You already know what we're about to do. We're going to have a guest coming on, waiting for him to arrive. We're going to talk to the good old honorable Doug Weinstein and talk a little bit about. We got a lot of questions. Lots of you all sent some fantastic questions. And as we're waiting for him, I found an interview that he did recently, right after the infamous the ex parte meeting. I thought would be beneficial because it does kind of answer some of the questions that some people had. But I'm gonna drop that in here real quick. We're gonna check that out. It's about 8 minutes and give everybody a chance to get their mics checked. So if you don't mind, let's bring this in. And here we go.
For Yak Gotti, Doug Weinstein. You are so good to come on with us. And I want to ask you, why is it that this motion is filed for a mistrial yesterday? And what makes it novel?
Well, we had really no choice but to file for a mistrial. In this case, the prosecution definitely goaded us into this. They asked the judge for that meeting, that ex parte secret meeting, worked with the judge to keep it completely secret so that we didn't know about it. We were fortunate enough to find out about it. At that meeting, the judge and the state coerced Kenneth Copeland into changing from his decision to not testify into testifying. So there are any number of errors that happen that violate Mr. Kendrick's due process rights, his rights to a fair trial. So we had, look, we're winning this case, but we had no choice but to file a motion for mistrial.
So you sort of answered my next question, which how the ex parte meeting impacted the progress. But in terms of not only impacting the progress, how do you go back with a new judge and undo the issues that were created by the ex parte meeting with the judge meeting with Kenneth Copeland and the prosecutor alone, and then trying to put one of your co-counsels in jail?
You know, there is a lot that has to be undone, and it's just not doable. And let me just give you one example. When I filed the motion to recuse Judge Glanville on June the 12th, at that time, Judge Glanville should have stopped all proceedings in the case. Sorry about this truck going by, and referred the motion out to another judge to make a decision on that. He failed to do that.
Right.
Instead, he continued to have testimony presented to this jury. Kenneth Copeland talked on the stand to this jury, testified for 4 days. And now, according to the law, we have to rewind the case to before that testimony. How can you rewind the case? How can the jury unhear 4 days of testimony? It just can't be done.
Yeah, and let me go following this up. The prosecution then files a motion yesterday to say you can't, the whole group of defense attorneys, cannot speak to the media when they have tried this case and made speeches, I think, in the courtroom that were really geared towards the media publication of the speeches. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, that's right. And by the way, my apologies. I should have started this interview out with giving a big shout out to ADA Love and ADA Hilton, because apparently they are watching our interviews. But we have not violated any of the rules. Under Rule 3.6, we are allowed to speak publicly about what information that's available to the public. We can get out there. My client is a rap performer. He's an artist. His reputation is being damaged by this trial. We're allowed to go out there and make the accurate assertion that he is innocent of this. So we've done nothing wrong. And I expect that the judge will rule against the state here. And by the way, one last thing, this is completely in keeping with the state's efforts throughout this trial to keep the public from seeing what's going on here. They've repeatedly tried to have witnesses not televised.
Now, we saw that, and I think law and crime has been at the forefront, trying to make sure that the public does see the witnesses. This is a public trial. It's very important because there is a problem with crime in Atlanta. There is a gang problem. Let's not make no mistake about that. But how does this trial address that when it's supposed to be the leader Young Thug. And quite frankly, I'm not sure if I'm sitting on the jury that I've heard anything that connects either your client or Young Thug to the really, shall we say, egregious charge in the case is the one of murder.
Well, I think any unbiased observer who has watched this trial, and hopefully the jury as well, has seen that so far, after 100 days of testimony, almost 100 witnesses, this has been going on before the jury since November of 23, hasn't seen evidence that YSL is a gang, hasn't seen evidence of gang activity. They may claim we are some kind of hybrid gang, but that's just the nose of wax that the gang experts can twist any way they want to. So look at the evidence that's presented. I'm fine to stand on that and say the state has not shown that YSL is a gang or that there have been any racketeering activities.
Yeah, and I'm a former prosecutor, and actually I filed civil RICO charges on some cases, so I'm very familiar with the statute. Let's go back to the beginning of this trial. We all thought initially we're applauding Judge Glanville, except for those of us who were into the First Amendment, I'm on the rap lyrics, and that was the big issue, the rap lyrics that were going to be introduced. The rap lyrics have kind of gone by the wayside. What to you is the most egregious piece of evidence that the prosecution sought to put in that should have nothing to do with this trial? And then I'm going to ask you the other side, Doug. I'm going to ask you to be fair. What do you think is the most effective piece of evidence the prosecution has brought in that you have to rebut?
Okay. So I'm not going to let you take the rap lyrics and put those to the side, because I was one of the people that really led the fight against introducing those rap lyrics. And they have been used in the trial. I think they plan on continue to use them. And I think that's the most egregious. And where I come down on these rap lyrics, unless you can show some kind of a nexus with these lyrics, it's absolutely ridiculous to use them in the trial. So I think that's been the most egregious. The most effective, I think there was one day, and I can't remember the day in April, where the state listed for the jury a series of acts, a series of criminal actions that occurred in 2015. They put them up on a board and went one after the other. I don't believe they effectively tied our clients to those, but I think what they were trying to establish is that there was some type of a war going on. Not that I think that day was particularly effective, but I will give them that was probably their most effective day so far.
Yeah, and I won't throw the rap lyrics to the side. I would be singing Johnny Cash to you, but you don't want that because we all know about artists. What do you expect where do you expect the state to go next? And what do you expect the judge to rule on with regard to these motions?
Well, I really think, obviously, the state's going to oppose our motion for a mistrial, I expect, unless they're setting this up for a mistrial, because, again, their case has been going so poorly that anyone can see. I think they've had at least a half a dozen of their key witnesses, their witnesses, that they had to impeach on the stand. So when that happens, as a former prosecutor, your case is not going well. So we'll see what happens with the mistrial. I think the judge should rule for a mistrial. I don't think the judge has much choice. And I hope that the judge can see that the reason for the mistrial is that the state has goaded us into making this request.
And Doug Weinstein, I'm going to let you wrap it up. Any final thoughts that you want to tell our viewers that I have not asked you before I let you go back and continue your defense of your client, Yak Gotti?
Thank you. I have no final comments except to thank all the media for continuing to cover this case. I think it's very helpful for the public to see what's going on in that courtroom.
Thank you, Doug. Law and Crime will be staying on this case. As you know, we have been committed to this case and will be committed to this case. Hope to see you in the courtroom. I hope at some point it's before I turn 90 that the case ends. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, I wanted to play that, and thank you all so much to everybody who's already tapped in. We're actually waiting for our guest to come. So hopefully he will be here sooner than later so we can move this game forward. But I wanted to play that one because a lot of people ask questions pertaining to why does Doug Weinstein continually speak to the media after that whole big snafu about not being able to speak to the media. He kind of addressed it there in that interview, as well as when does he see this trial? Where does he see this trial going? So a lot of people were asking, where is this trial going? Do you see it moving forward to you all being successful, and so on and so forth? And I thought that was because he seemed to be very candid about it. But then also talking about First Amendment, and freedom of speech questions. Lots of people had questions after the most recent interview that we looked at yesterday pertaining to freedom of speech and why it is that it seems like they're coming off so hard about rap lyrics, coming off so hard about this art form, but they're not other art forms and other genres and such of that nature, which I do think is very interesting. I do want to ask Doug about that when he is able to get on. But at the current moment, we are holding fast. So I don't want you all to think that I'm standing you up or filibustering, if you will. Definitely don't want it to be accused that I'm talking donkey's ears off. Don't want that to be the case at all. So I will be as soon as he's available, we'll definitely bring him on in. But I think all of you, it looks like almost 500 of you all I've already tapped in. Can you hit that like button if you don't mind? I realize that you guys are looking at me and you were hoping to see Doug, and I'm hoping to have Doug on here for you as well. But I appreciate you hitting the like button nonetheless. So shout out to everybody that's already tapped in. Lots of good conversation going on in the live chat. I meant to drop a poll question, but I've noticed even today, literally about an hour ago, there was another case that started on this past Monday and finished today. Another one. It was a young lady who murdered her husband in Florida. And it's getting really interesting to me. What's going on with all of these cases that are literally taking a week? Murder trials are taking a week to come clean. I mean, to come forward, get to the jury, come back with a verdict, and they're done in a week. What is going on with that? I don't know. Did any of you all see that? It was literally the young lady, I forgot her last name, but she she was found guilty of murdering her husband. I think they were both in the military or former military, whatnot like that. And it's just kind of crazy that this is becoming such a trend. And we saw literally yesterday. We saw a trial end yesterday that had started on Monday. And now we saw today another trial that ended today that it started on Monday. What's going on with that? So I'm gonna drop this in the chat real quick. Little poll question for y'all. All right, let's see what we got. All right, drop the question here just to see where everybody is. A temp check to see where everybody is. I love this. Malika says that prosecutors have real evidence, which I think is a fantastic point. Um, I, I I'm with, and I don't want to say it just because I don't agree with this case, but I don't see any concrete evidence that is leading me toward this overarching big conspiracy, also known as a RICO. That I just don't see it. I just do not see it. Now, maybe you could again, and I've said this before, I think a lot of the time, uh, you could see some of these charges are probably valid. I think you could probably make a case that is valid for some of these charges. But the overarching trying to hook everything to everybody seems to be problematic. And I would love to hear what Doug is going to say about Rondarius Ryan, who's the very young looking fellow who's already got life, he's already been sentenced to life. Even though he's in appeals, he's already been sentenced to life. And as far as I understand it, he's not really affiliated with anybody that's the other five gentlemen that are there in court. So why is he there? I want to hear that, and hopefully we'll be able to get that answer. What's going on, Miss Scott? Good to see you. Grace and peace to you as well. All right. And let me see real quick. All right. No, I think he should be coming through prayerfully. That was a good message that I just got. But in honor of this, I'm gonna, since we are kind of waiting, I will drop the link in the chat. If you would like to, I'd be happy to hear what you think. If you don't mind, you must have your camera on. There, of course, is no profanity. And let's just stay on topic. Like, where are you with this young thug trial and such like that? What are your thoughts on it? I see the poll question has been going crazy. Lots of people have been keeping up with this. I just dropped the link in the chat while we're waiting for him. You can jump on in. I'd love to wrap it up or chat with you about it. Nope. But And Jazz ask a question. I think we're going to, and the thing is, I think we're going to see this in the Diddy trial. We're going to see, where is the money? Where is the conspiracy? Where is the racketeering? Where is the drugs? Where's the gang? I think we're going to be able to see that in the Diddy trial. We'll probably see that in the Julio Fulio trial down there in Florida. We'll probably see it in the furtherance of that CMG, that the Young Dolph. We'll probably see it in that as well. There's a lot of things in there that the elements of racketeering, the elements of RICO are in all those other cases. I just don't see them in this Young Thug case. Now, I do see some people doing some bad things and people not obeying the law, doing crime things. But the idea, the notion that every crime thing needs to be tagged to everybody else, man, that's a reach. That is such a reach. And I think, as Nutt says right here, the evidence is MIA, just as RICO is. Shaking my head. And I got to agree. I don't see the evidence for RICO being there, but that's definitely something I would love to hear from Mr. Weinstein. And we have I have that question on there, Malik. I have that question as well, but I will ask. I don't know, and I would love to see, like, what was their score? Like, was it like Breakfast Club? Did you have to go on Saturday and just had to be in the courtroom in the court all day doing work? Like, what was it like? What was this? What was this Brady class? What was it? What does it look like? So, and it better not have been online. It better have been somewhere you had to sit and listen to a lecture all day or something. Because I think that was definitely necessary. No, I appreciate. Yes, hit that like button if you don't mind. Thank you so much for that as well. All right, I'm gonna drop this out of the way. All right. Yeah, just Wayne Chicky Brewer. Thank you so much. Just holding fast for Mr. Weinstein. Hopefully he'll be here sooner than later. I see what you did there, E-Hop. I see what you did there. I think because we had that storm here this week, last night, I think RICO got blown out of Georgia. I think it got blown out of Georgia. And maybe it landed in New York. The stuff going on with Eric Adams is pretty interesting. That stuff going on, man, New Yorkers, y'all got some work to do for sure. Maybe it's there. Maybe it blew to Dalton, Illinois with Tiffany Enyard. There's some stuff, there's some trash going on there. She needs to be chewing on her fingernails. If Eric Adams is catching it, they got to be coming for her. They got to be. So I don't know, but RICO is definitely. I don't think RICO is on Pryor Street at all, unless you're gonna say it's in the DA's office. Maybe RICO is being found in the DA's office. Now that could be reality for sure. Brady violation should be a felony. Okay. Matter of fact, I just heard today that in the Russ trial, the young lady who was already found guilty before Alec Baldwin, I think she was the armorer that made the mistake. She had a lot of mistakes in her situation as well. But because of the whole Brady violation that actually not exonerated, but throughout the trial against Alec Baldwin, that young lady's gonna get an appeal. So Brady can do a lot of damage for sure. All I had to do was watch a video. That's it? Oh, come on. Yeah. How they trying to tie Lil Rod to this case is proof that they're desperate in reach. I mean, literally, Lil Rod was probably in middle school, probably even younger than that, when these overt acts were happening. So how is he even tied to this? Is preposterous. So I appreciate you. We watch YouTube. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. I think, since I'm waiting, Mac Truck, I'll just answer this one. This is what I think is, from listening to several interviews with people smarter than myself in the legal sphere. I'm thinking a lot of people, I'm sorry, I'm thinking the judge, in my opinion. Let me read the question first of all. Your question says, why is the judge allowed to repeatedly disregard the right to a mistrial with prejudice with all these instances? And then 2, why does the court lean on the appeal process instead of a mistrial? Okay. And this is totally my thought process here, Mac Truck. I don't have anybody to tell me that I'm right or wrong. I'm sure somebody will, though. Don't get it twisted. Somebody's going to jump in here and tell me I'm right or wrong for sure. Judges don't like making decisions if they don't have to. They don't want to step in and break up a fight if they don't have to. So they'd much rather you not fight than for them to have to break up a fight. Got it? So that being the case, here the judge wants to allow this to go all the way to the buzzer, all the way to the end, all the way to the end of it, and be given to the jury, and let the jury decide however it decides. Because if that happens, the judge who is going to be running for reelection, the judge who wants to be placed on the Georgia Supreme Court, won't have that they threw this court case out on their record. But then also, if the jury comes back and says that this person is innocent, or rather they're found not guilty, then she doesn't have to worry about it going to appeal and get thrown. Because again, if she throws it out, it's going to come back on her that she was the one that threw it out. I think Judge Whitaker doesn't want that smoke, for lack of a better term. So that being the case, I think that's why she's very, very hesitant. Well, actually, that's why she hasn't addressed any of the mistrials. She's thrown them all out. But then also, I think, just as Doug Weinstein said in that little interview that we just watched, she's aware that they're winning. She knows that the defense is cooking. So the likelihood of this coming back as guilty and going to appeal is very low. The likelihood, this is again just my thought process, Mac Truck. The likelihood of this coming back not guilty and not having to go back to appeal is high. And she's like, why do I need to step in? It's going to go, they're going to clean it up for me. That's why I think she's doing that. I don't think she's truly expecting it to go to appeal. I don't think she's truly expecting these men to be found guilty, in my opinion, but I could be wrong. All right. But excellent question, man. Thank you so much. Lots of good back and forth, which is always good to. Yeah. Yeah. Eric Adams and Diddy are, I mean, I got the video right here. Yeah. When he was awarded the key to the city. Hold on one second. I mean, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something to see. Whatever, how Adams and Diddy try to clean this up. We'll see what happens. Let's see real quick. Here it is, right here.
He already has the keys to some pretty exclusive places, and now Sean Diddy Combs can add New York City to that list. It's Diddy Day in the city. Videos have been playing on the Jumbotron for TSX Broadway, and the crowd waited. Then around 11:30, the doors opened for the mayor and the artist.
The bad boy of entertainment is getting the key to the city from the bad boy of politics.
I want to thank y'all for this honor and just recognizing me being from New York, giving me the key to the city. Diddy finally has the key to the city.
Today's event coincides with the release of his new album, The Love Album, Off the Grid.
Yeah, that's going to come back and get him. The bad boy of politics. That just did not, that was not a good idea, Mr. Adams. I was not considering the things that are coming up about his dealings. Cause I mean, he was pretty shady. Yeah. Little Rob was potentially 11 years old. I knew he was young. That's crazy. Like, sure. Can an 11-year-old commit crimes? Sure. But what are we doing? Like, how are you attaching this to some 20-plus-year-old men? How are y'all doing that? That's just, as it's been said, I think it's to prejudice the jury because they already got somebody in there who's guilty as today is Friday, but they're going to tag them on. So it's just interesting. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out for sure. And I'm right there with you, Jazz. Cell phone data hasn't proven what they wanted to prove. I mean, there's a lot of errors there. We're going to see, even though they had I think it was a Sprint guy there on the stand recently, And I mean, he explains a lot, and it's cool, but it doesn't. Again, okay, fine. I send text messages and I call somebody. Sure. What's the nature of the call? What's the nature of the text messages? You don't have that. So therein is the problem. Therein is the rub. So we will definitely see how that works out. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing what we can extract from him. Ashley, thank you so very much for the very kind 4.99 super. Why were the Lil Wayne lyrics added as an overt act? Lil Wayne's lyrics were? Really? The actual lyrics. This is crazy. I don't know. Uh, to me, I feel like at this point in the game, we're watching. Well, let's backtrack for a second. What we do know is that this case is very old. We know that. So looking at the young Dolph case, that case is only about 3 years old. Same thing with the young lady that just was found guilty today in Florida. That's about 3 years old. So it's not super long. It's relatively, for lack of a better term, they're not cold cases. This young thug case is like 9, 10 years old, and it's extremely cold, frozen, right? So with that, why was it frozen? Why was it like that? What didn't Paul Howard have the previous DA? Didn't he have the same information? You're correct. He did. And Paul Howard looked at it and said that there's not enough, is leaning too heavy on Kenneth Copeland, is leaning too heavy on untrustworthy witnesses, untrustworthy voices. And he never touched it. Bonnie Willis comes in and she does it. But I think the bad thing is that ADAs don't have a choice on whether or not what cases they run. They have to just go with whatever's being presented to them by the DA. And I think what happened, I cannot confirm. I would love to confirm this with Mr. Weinstein. I would love to assume they're scrambling and scraping. Shout out to AV to the seventh power. They're scrambling and scraping to find something salient, something to sink their teeth into. Because a lot of us have mentioned this, like there's nothing there there's nothing there. There's nothing there. When you look at the Julio Fulio, they got enough video evidence, they got enough shell casings, they got all of this stuff, all this evidence. Same thing with the young Dolph, same thing with the young lady in Florida that just killed her husband. There's all this hard evidence. This case, it's all conjecture. It's just all, matter of fact, I don't know if we want to see the evidence in the Diddy trial. We just want to take your word for it. And we take your word for it. I don't want to see the evidence. But I believe we're seeing that here. There's no hard evidence. What is the hard evidence? Usually when we're watching it, you hear people in the chat asking, well, who is the one that deleted this person? Or who is the person that did that? There's no hard evidence. It's just, I'm telling you what happened, and I'm also a criminal. I'm trying to get out of jail myself. That's problematic. So going back here, when you look at here about trying to put in rap lyrics, which I have a major problem with that. I have a big problem with that. Trying to use rap lyrics as autobiographical, self-snitching, whatever you want to call it, lyrical snitching. To me, that's very problematic because how do you know that Lil Wayne wrote these lyrics? How do you know that? And the other night, I literally typed into Chat GPT and asked it to make me a rap song. And it was actually pretty interesting. And then we watched YouTube, put a beat to it, and it's actually pretty good. That being the case, I don't think that rap lyrics is problematic to me. I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's the right thing to do. And of course, we can talk at length about, do other genres of music get treated like this? No, they don't. What about film? What about plays? What about anything else? No and no and no. But only rap music. That's problematic to me. So back around the block. I think the reason they're doing that is because they don't have anything else. They don't have anything that they can sink their teeth into, and they know that most people get in their feelings about rap music, good, bad, or indifferent. They don't like what's being portrayed, and I can give you that, but that doesn't mean somebody's guilty of a crime, and definitely doesn't mean they go to jail for the rest of their lives. Sorry about that. So, all right. Lots of good conversation. I appreciate y'all. And I don't know why, but our guest is not not tapped in. I'm waiting for my email back. I've sent him an email with the again with the link, and I don't have it back. So, all right, we're gonna figure our way around that. So I apologize. But we'll just keep on going. Oh, thank you, Puerto Rican Gloria. Thank you so very much for that. Now I am gonna, while we're waiting, hopefully it'll be not too much longer. I just dropped the link in the chat. If you want to talk about it, feel free. All I ask again is that your camera be on. We're not going to be using any profanity. Let's just stay around this legal discussion, particularly about the Young Thug case. We can definitely talk about it while we're waiting for Mr. Weinstein to hop in. I like it. I appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't know that they used Lil Wayne's lyrics in the Young Thug case or Young Thug on a Lil Wayne track. I didn't know that. Okay, wow. But I did think it was interesting. I noticed also in the video clip that we watched, the video interview that we watched coming in, I noticed that Doug mentioned something that I think most of us have mentioned as well, that Adrian Love and the DA's office really has been trying to keep cameras and keep other people from seeing what's going on in this trial, which I think is very problematic. Because imagine where we would be if we had not heard this. If we did not have the cameras, if we didn't have that, where would we be? It'd be very interesting. It'd be much different for sure. What is the function or role of the judge? As far as I know, the judge has always been the referee, for lack of a better term. The judge has always been the ref. Is always going to be the umpire, the one that's supposed to call balls and strikes. Supposed to. Now, whether or not they do that, whether or not they stay fair and unbiased, I think we could all have a very long discussion about that. Matter of fact, we're going to have a good discussion right now because I got Jazz in the building. Jazz, grace and peace. How are you, my friend?
All right. How you doing?
Not bad. Jazz, what do you understand the judge to be in a trial? Do you have any opinion about that?
He's supposed to be a referee, but we're not
You
saying a referee.
You don't think Judge Whitaker's reffing?
No.
She got the Lakers jersey on, huh?
Yeah,
She out there. She out there
I mean, because
in the game.
being as though they work for the same entity, so they state work for the state, so it's the judges, the state,
Yeah.
and they always give prosecutors the lean. They give them the extra mile, and they'd had an extra couple of miles, and they still can't get it together.
Yeah. But I think it's because the case really is garbage. But
it's trash from the beginning.
It was trash from the beginning. Hey, real quick, man, where are you from?
I'm from Baltimore.
Oh, gotcha. Hey, what y'all do? Y'all had a couple of interesting things going on up in Baltimore lately.
Yeah.
This spring.
Yeah, we Baltimore is Atlanta, basically. It's a crab. It's a bucket of crabs, man.
So give me your overall impression. Don't say bad things about Georgia because I live here, so don't be talking bad about my city. But what do you think overall? What's your opinion about the YSL trial?
I don't even know what I'm looking at. I think this is a TV. It's supposed to be on TV. It's just for entertainment purposes only. This is a joke. I mean, you got all this cell phone data, but where is the conspiracy? Where is the racketeering? You supposed to have all that on. If you got cell phone data, it's going to tell you everything.
It should, yeah.
Y'all supposed to have wiretaps. What was y'all doing?
I don't know.
What was you doing? How you going to say RICO without wiretapping? You supposed to have 2 years of surveillance or something. Where's the stuff at?
We've been looking for it. I don't know, man. Like I told you,
This
Was it
wouldn't
Hurricane Helene blew it
trust me. It
away?
wouldn't have went down to Baltimore like that. This is a joke. I have never seen this.
Yeah.
It's
So
crazy.
let me ask you this while we're before we move forward. Where do you think this is going to go? And you can be where theorize into the future. Is it going to go to
It's
mistrial? You think it's going to go to the jury? How far do you think it's going to go?
it's gonna go to the jury.
Okay.
Most definitely. It's definitely. I mean, we see this. They doing their utmost to make it go to the jury. So it's definitely going to the jury. Um, I just it should not make it to the jury. I think at the end the judge should just declare it. But you're not going to get that. Certain things should not go to the jury.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
for sure.
trash. This is trash. This should not go. Um, but it's going to go. And the crazy part, I've been in that situation, and it's just not a good situation.
I got you. No, man.
It's not. If it go
I
to the
agree
jury,
100%.
it jury. It's sad that you're supposed to get your own peers out of your
Yeah,
community.
jury appears. Yep.
Yeah, and it's just don't go well, buddy. They, they would know police lie, and they will still believe what the police say,
Let
but
me
no
ask you this though.
evidence.
Let me ask you this. Is the problem the jury or is the problem the state, aka the prosecution? Like
Well,
that
if
at
I'm,
the current moment, we've heard nothing from the jury except
well, I believe is the instructions, and a lot of people don't know. You know, jury don't really know the law.
mhm,
So when they say, you got to have it's reasonable doubt, they don't know the real fullness of what reasonable doubt is. Like you
mhm,
got to know that person did it. Like you just can't. If one thing is off, then everything is off. They don't understand that part.
facts.
You have to have it all together because if you don't have it all together, it's so many people locked up that's not supposed to be locked up. It's ridiculous.
Right.
And people don't understand that unless you either a victim to it or someone close to you is. And then when it becomes to make sense. But if it's
Right.
not in your family, and you don't know about it, you just think whatever the police say is right. I mean, time after time we see it. They people don't understand it's about numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
If the numbers is not going up, then they can't get more money. It's just that simple. It's a business.
No, I agree with you 100%, man.
So
So
yeah.
yeah, man, Jazz, brother, I appreciate you, man. Have you been following from the beginning or how long?
Oh, from the
And
beginning, from the beginning.
really? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. So you day one,
yeah,
even though we got some day 100s and some day 131s.
yeah,
Hopefully we won't get to day 201. So
yeah.
I appreciate you,
It's
brother.
it's, it's actually entertainment because it's sad to say it, but because people lives, but this is a joke.
Yeah.
It,
It is
it really is a
definitely
joke. This
negative
is
entertainment for sure.
it's definitely a joke, and it's all the money making. It's all it
I
is
got you.
about. Sad.
Well, brother, man, thank you so much, man, for stopping through, man. I appreciate you jumping in the chat. And
Already.
brother, be good, man. We'll see you real soon.
Okay.
All right. All right. We are waiting for Mr. Weinstein. I have not gotten confirmation that he's not coming. I got confirmation he was coming. So in the meantime, in between time, we got Princess Jones. He gonna come up in here. He gonna drop that knowledge while he's driving. Don't be driving fast, though, brother.
Oh
We don't need no
no,
driving Ricos up in this piece. All
oh
right,
no.
Princess, how you
I'm,
doing,
I'm,
brother?
oh, I'm good. How you doing tonight?
Oh, not bad at all, man. So tell me, man, what's your thoughts? I mean, we talked earlier, I think this week. What are your thoughts on this so far?
Uh, they need to. This case should have been done away with. I mean, it shouldn't even went to trial from the beginning. It shows a personal vendetta. And I watched your little your clip you put up earlier where
Yeah,
where Angry Man was talking
yeah,
and all the little clips you put in there, and that's spot on. Our culture, people don't understand our culture if they're not from it. Just
I
like
got you.
we don't understand certain cultures if we're not from it. But with our culture, it's like they want to do anything they can to destroy us as a people.
Got
I
it.
mean,
Okay.
let's be honest about it. And even when you were playing, when I watched your one earlier, and Fonnie Willis was talking, and yeah, you are a target if you're a gang. Well, first of all, it's not illegal to be in a gang.
I
That's
agree. Right.
number one. Because if you want to say that, let's be honest. Well, why haven't y'all disbanded the Ku Klux Klan? Why haven't y'all disbanded the police departments across this country who murder and kill innocent people, especially innocent people of color? How many times have we seen that? You know, we all remember watching George Floyd lose his life live on camera. You know, so what is it about our music that don't? Listen, we can go all the way back to the 20s, the Western movies, full of
Mhm.
violence.
Absolutely.
You know, well, what about the musician Marilyn Manson? Have you ever listened to any of his lyrics?
Nope, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah,
Absolutely.
but
Yeah.
but but nobody has ever been. No other group of people have ever been prosecuted and mistreated the way people of color have because they're expressing their First Amendment constitutional rights.
Facts.
And I got a question for you.
Go ahead, man.
Have you seen infamous Sylvia? You know she got a subpoena from Google
I did see this.
today.
I didn't understand all that was happening because I was doing some research for tonight, my questions and such, and I saw that come up, so I didn't know all the ins and outs. And I was going to look into it a little bit later or reach out to Sylvia and kind of get a better understanding. But go ahead.
Right. Well, last month they demonetized her YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Now here comes. She said she received it last night, but she just seen it today. Now they're trying to subpoena her Google records,
Yep.
and it's coming from the Fulton County DA's office.
Yeah. Wow.
What they're trying to do, they don't want the notoriety that this trial is getting because
Understood.
everybody is speaking on from you to Cat Not Williams,
Yeah.
Cadillac Law. Everybody is speaking on the injustice that's going on, and the DA, Fulton County DA's office, don't want that because it puts a stain on Fulton County. But we need that because it's not just Fulton County. Fulton County just has a spotlight on them right now.
Correct.
I'm from not far from where your original hometown is. I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was there when the police was killing innocent black men unarmed. We know what's going on in Chicago already.
Right.
And it's all across the country. So what they're trying to do, they're trying to destroy us. And even if they don't get the conviction, I don't think they care about the conviction. I think they're trying to break Young Thug and any of these young people who are on trial, you know, even with Diddy. Now his stuff is crazy.
It's all
If
over the
he's
place.
guilty,
Right.
yeah. If he's guilty, he deserves what he gets. But let's not be so quick to judge. Because
No,
what we
I
have to
got you.
remember, even in Diddy's case, he was dealing with adults. I do not believe he was forcing adults to come because you never heard nobody complain about his quote unquote freak offs until now.
Until now.
Everybody was, it seems to me, everybody was considered adults because they would all talk about how fun his parties were. Now all of a
I think
sudden,
everybody's got a
go
problem
ahead.
with it. No, I was gonna say now
Huh?
all of a sudden, all of a sudden everybody has a problem with it. So I totally agree with you that there's definitely some room for discussion about it. But I think Diddy, we can put Diddy over to the side because I think that was definitely a very interesting topic. But I say if
Yeah.
we just stick with Young Thug, I mean,
Yeah,
like, for example, the amount of evidence that they have on Diddy is gonna be very different than the amount of evidence that they have on Young Thug, and therein is the
right.
problem to me.
I agree with that.
So,
I agree with that too.
there's
But
no
what I only brought him up just to show a pattern of how they're doing the.
Oh, you breaking up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They're tracking your
Now,
phone, Prentice. They're
can
tracking
you
your
hear me?
phone. Yeah, all of a sudden your phone broke up. Uh-oh. They're
Oh
tracking
no,
your
no,
phone,
no,
brother. Watch out.
no, no. Somebody was trying to call in.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay.
Um, what? Yeah, they build you up to tear you down, and you can look at any genre from music to sports to entertainment. You can look all over. They build you up, and they're only gonna let you get so far
Yeah.
because
Oh,
you can't have too much power. But with back to the Young Thug case, man, that this whole case is a farce, man.
no,
You
I
can't make
agree.
me. I'm 49. I'm 49 years old, so I go back to the beginning stages of hip hop. You know, they always had a problem with our music, but they never have a problem with, like I said, the old Western movies or any other movies or form of entertainment that's not from our culture.
No, I agree with you 100%, my friend. But yeah, man,
You
thank you
know,
so much, man, Prentice. Always appreciate you falling through, man, giving your insight. Are you out and are you still in Michigan?
no, 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 no. I'm from Milwaukee, but no, I live in Indianapolis.
Got you. Okay, no, no. We always appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. I got
Yep, yep.
oh, but let me get some other folk on here, man. And like I said, I'm waiting for Doug. I need Doug to come on up in here because we got lots of good questions for him tonight. But we'll see how that works.
Okay,
But man, always appreciate you, brother. You know where to find me whenever you want to holla.
you got it, man. Keep doing what you do, man. Salute to you.
Grace and peace. Thanks, friend. Take care.
Right.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank y'all so much. Lots of good insight, lots of good perspectives. I think at the end of the day, hearing the different perspectives is always key, which is something I really value on this channel. Hence why I even started this channel is being able to get different perspectives because I'm not going to assume and always say that I have the right perspective or I have the only perspective and whatnot like that. But I know that I like to hear other perspective and how other people see the world and other people see a situation that maybe I thought was just cut and dry in one direction, but it might go in another. So I definitely appreciate that. I got 2 text messages and an email, and I don't see that Mr. Weinstein has said that he's not coming. So I do deeply apologize for that, y'all, that I don't have him on here because that was my goal and my intention was to have him on there. But if y'all want to rap, I will rap with you for a moment. I do appreciate it. Looks like 775 of y'all are in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping by on tonight. I will let you know ahead of time that tomorrow I am going to be celebrating 3 years on YouTube. So come on, follow on through. Got some fun stuff playing for that on tomorrow. Would love to see you all just in an hour or two. We're going to be doing it at 8 o'clock tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. So I would love to have y'all follow on through. If Rome King wants to jump on finally, I'm going to drop the link in here again for him. Jump on up in here. Miss Scott, same thing. We can go ahead and talk about it. I thank you so much, 86. Thanks, man. Thank you so much for that. I don't no, you did not miss him, Breezy Ben. You are hopefully still on time. We got, but at the current moment, he's not come on as of yet. So, I don't know. I see. I'm just reading through some of the comments. This is an interesting point. Why isn't there a shield or partition between the prosecutors and the jury? DA Love attempting to allow the jurors to see pictures she printed, not evidence. That's a good question. I really truly don't know. I really don't know, Mac Truck. That's a great question. I don't have a good valid reason for why. I believe I have a feeling there's something about being able to see Those people, the defendants need to be able to see the jury, and the jury needs to be able to see the defendants. They don't budget in that the prosecutors are going to be doing underhanded and dirty things like showing evidence that they shouldn't show, and all of the facial features and all the shenanigans that Adrian Love does. I don't think they budgeted that in. Because if they knew that that kind of stuff would happen, I'm sure it would be something different, like they're in a box. Okay. But yeah, that's a good question. I don't honestly know that. I really don't, but I would love to hear a little bit more about it though. As soon as I get my company situated, oh, and I love family over since the storm and all. Oh, gotcha. Well, good to see you, Rome King. Thank you so much. Nonetheless, I do want to say thank you so much to Ashley as well as Michelle. Ashley says, why were the Lil Wayne lyrics used? And I didn't know that. And we're going to look into if they were Lil Wayne's lyrics. That's kind of wild. And thank you so much for the $4.99 super. I really appreciate it, Michelle. I appreciate the $4.99 super. She says, I really want the defense to read all of their motions for mistrial with a brief description on the record for the new judge. Put her on notice. I can already tell you, as sure as my name is Jason, she's not going to let that happen. And if you notice, they don't like things being read. If you're saying something that is going to be captured by the court reporter, go back and watch when Max Shard asked Quandarius Zachary about whether or not he was he had been called from Augusta to come up here. Notice Adrian Love was objecting well before he even finished his first sentence. And that's because she didn't want it captured on the record. And when they do that, and that's why immediately they run the jury out, they run the witness out and so forth. So I don't think Adrian Love would even allow that. She would yell over. She would just be crazy, I would think. So I don't think Judge Whitaker would allow. I don't think Judge Whitaker would allow it, and I don't think Adrian Love would behave like a normal civilized adult. So, but that's a good idea. I just don't think it would work. I don't think it will happen. I would love to know what YSL Mondo told Fani when she was his defense lawyer. That's a fantastic question. That would be attorney-client, I'm sure. But that's a great question. Mixed chick, I don't know. But if we get an opportunity, I don't think we will find that out per se, but no, that's a dope question for sure. All right, let's see what I missed. You don't think there's, oh, wait. I don't think that Love knew or believed they were Lil Wayne lyrics, Lil Wayne's music. She thought they were Quandarius Zachary's words. Still put the lyrics on the show, and they were lyrics and not words to further the conspiracy. Wow. Okay. I'm going to go back and look into that. Thank you. But what I don't have to look into, I can definitely say thank you, is N Doug just blessed 10 people with memberships. Thank you so much, N Doug. I really appreciate it. You've been a stalwart at helping this channel grow. So I really thank you, N Doug. If you got a membership from N Doug, could you please just say thank you and give her a shout out? Just put N Doug in there. Let her know that we appreciate her. Thank you so much for supporting the platform. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I also appreciate Ashley again. DWC, they were underneath the caption of the boys in the car. She thought they were, oh, Young Thug's lyrics. The lyrics are on, yeah, overt acts. Is that what you're trying to say? It's because Adrian Love doesn't know what she's doing. Let's just tell the truth, shame the devil. She doesn't know what she's doing. So, and because this case has so many layers to it, so many levels to it, as people like to say, and she doesn't know how to parse it. And I've said this before, they don't know how to tell a story. They're not good storytellers, because just think about it. Just think about it. We're able to watch this trial, to talk about this trial, to go back and rewind and all that kind of stuff like that, pull up documents and read them, pull up videos and watch them, all that kind of stuff. And we still don't understand what's going on. How in the world is the jury supposed to be able to do that? Because they're going to take, let's just pretend that the trial is over today. So today would be 136, I think it is 137, 38, something like that. Let's just say 140 for easy math. So they're going to take 140 days of testimony, videos, audio files, memorandums, pictures, and they're going to be able to understand that and put it in a salient chain of events that lead all the way to Jeffrey Williams being the kingpin. Okay. If that's what I'm supposed to believe, but I don't think that's true. And I think all of y'all know that's not true. So I don't think they're already lost, but I think they're trying, as people like to say, they're scrambling and they're scraping, trying to find something to put in front of this jury that's going to help them believe and see this as they want them to see it. That Young Thug is this overarching criminal warlord. Whether he's a bad person or not, I don't think the jury has made that claim. Nobody's saying that he's perfect. What we are saying is that you don't have a case, and therein is the rub. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this pans out. I can't wait to see closing arguments. That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, she doesn't know her own case because it really wasn't a case to start with. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but we will definitely see for sure.
Hey, you got a second?
Hey, Miss Mandy, what you got?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I wanted to put in my 2 cents about the case.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't turn my camera on because I still don't have power.
It's all good.
I think that there are some guilty parties involved in this case, but I don't think that Jeffrey Williams is one of them. I don't think that he has done anything, because all he has done is try to lift people up in the community. You've seen that from the testimonies at the beginning, like that young man that testified, that young boy.
Yep.
That was really touching.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw that, but that was really, really touching. And he said that, YSL stood for Young Successful Life to him, because Jeffrey Williams has, lifted him up and his family and taught him a better way. You don't do things like that and go out and gangbang.
I'm
you don't
with
lift
you.
people up like that during the day and then gangbang at night.
Or gangbang during the day. Yeah, right. I got you. No, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, right. It just makes no sense. And so anyway, that's my little 2 cents on that. I think there are some people that took plea deals that maybe thought they'd go to jail for the rest of their life if they didn't. I think there are some people that are guilty of things. Absolutely, there are.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think that Jeffrey Williams is one. And I think they just wanted him because he was popular, and it would look good on them to get the big fish, because they've said that several times, the big fish.
Several times. And and by big fish, you mean somebody that is popular, somebody that's rich, somebody has affluence and such that and notoriety. So yeah, I agree with you.
And it would look good for Fonny's record is all it was about. So anyway, that's all I got.
I appreciate you. No problem. I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping through, friend.
Bye.
Good night. But no, I did that wrong. But no, I agree with that. And thank y'all so much, man. So many blessing the team. Thank you so much. We Watch YouTube for blessing somebody with a membership. Make sure you let We Watch YouTube know that you appreciate them, as well as becoming a new member. Thank you so much. Ella Williams, welcome. And thank you so much for the 99-cent super sticker. Little Wayne says, mixed chick, thank you so much for the $9.99 super. She says, Little Wayne says slime. That's it. I don't care if his lyrics were included, but Wayne says slime in his raps. Wayne has a rap, rather hip hop award cipher from 2016 saying slime repeatedly. It's nonsense. I don't think anybody disagrees with you. I think the attempt to try to find, the boogie monster is the part that makes it laughable. Is that you're literally, remember Adrian Love said that if you had red on, if you had red on, that represents bloods. But also, if the word drip means that you're dripping in blood, like really? So drip means dripping in blood. So she clearly doesn't have any younger people in her circle that could have told her that that was ludicrous what she said. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, she doesn't know what she's doing. I'm kind of embarrassed for her, but yeah, there you go. The worst was dripping in blood. Like, yeah, that didn't even make sense. So it is what it is, but we will definitely see how it goes. I think there's room for that, John. John says that he believes the court is trying to cause us to become disinterested. I think there's you know what? There's room. I can believe that. I can believe that. The problem is every time they attempt to make us disinterested, they do something that causes us to be more interested and more boisterous about it. So I think a way that we could become disinterested in it is by throwing it out. And, in 2 years, we'll have forgotten about it completely. So, but not allowing it to continue, because it does seem, when it comes across to many people, as an injustice because of all of the just total unmitigated shenanigans that are happening. It's hard to take it seriously and say, wait, these are people's lives that are hanging in the balance. As somebody said earlier, it looks like a television show. Well, yeah, but this only problem is there's like lifelong ramifications to this show. So that's the thing. It does look like a television show, and a bad one at that. But it so yeah, I think that's a good catch though. Thank you so much for that. If I hear one more time about Club Crucial, I'm so tired of Club Crucial. I am so over Club Crucial. I don't want nothing else to do with Club Crucial. Nothing else. I think people can have different lifestyles. I think what we're looking at here is you haven't proven to us the other one. That's the thing. That's the part that I don't get. But I totally get you. If they were guilty, they should have taken the trial 10 years ago. Now, there is the truth. If this was a slam dunk, Paul Howard would have taken care of it. We wouldn't be talking about it because they would have already been tried, already been convicted. Why don't we not? Because they're more than likely are not. Or definitely the case is not worth the time and effort that they're putting into it. Somebody asked, like, how much, and that was a question for Doug was going to ask, like, how much does this cost? Like, what is the cost of this trial? And like, what is this? So it's going to be very interesting, though. And I agree with you, Ms. Scott. It's all political. And they do play in the streets. I'm not saying that they're choir boys by any means or measures. I think the end of the day is that if they're guilty for playing in the streets, let's say playing in the streets is bad, and they're doing something wrong, then charge them for that. But to make it a RICO and put everybody, all their friends and cousins in jail, that doesn't make no sense. And that's a lap too far, I feel like, in my opinion. Man, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Matos. I appreciate you with the $4.99 super. Appreciate you. And then also gifting memberships over there, GT Massive. Thank you so much for doing that. Not only becoming a member yourself, thank you so much, but for giving somebody else a membership. I appreciate you. Doug may be late because he did a few appearances today. Okay, then I wish I had known, because I would have definitely moved this back or changed the date, and that being the case when we confirmed it. But we learn and we live. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the best, man. Thank y'all so much. 750 of y'all drip. Now you in a gang. RICO. Send us your email, Mixed Chicks. We can send you your RICO indictment so you can know when to appear. I don't know his assistant's number. I got his email. Right. And most children and young adults know the term drip to mean jewelry and having high fashion and such of that nature. Do I use it? No. Did I understand it? Yes. I would have never thought in 10,000 years that the word drip meant that you was in a gang, unless that word changes. But I know, that's just craziness. Like, do you not have high schoolers around you? Like, come on. Let us go. Let us go. All right. What we got here? Oh, no. She won't listen. No, she's going to keep doing exactly what she's doing. I hate it because I'm like, maybe you do have a good case. Because you do understand she's going to have to. And I did the video on her opening statement. Her opening statement was 90 minutes long. And it was all over the place. It was not a coherent thought process. It was just like when she does her questioning, it just kind of hops around. It was very incoherent. And I feel like, again, like you are, and again, if you don't know, my name is Jason. I'm a former classroom teacher. So I used to teach elementary school. And I understand the importance of storytelling, the importance of capturing your audience, understanding what your audience can understand, and helping them get to the end, which is whether that be the 180th day of school or standardized testing or whatever it is. Being able to say, hey, I'm gonna start here, but I need to get here. I'm gonna start here, but I need to get here, wherever. And there's a coherent story that you should be telling all the way through, even if you're hopping through the science book, because the way that they're ordered, the chapters are ordered, maybe they don't work the way that you want to get your kids to the finish line, whatever, but you need to be able to do that. And Adrian Love has no clue how to tell a cohesive story. And I've said this, instead of suing teachers, Fonnie Willis needs to hire former classroom teachers to help them concoct and develop their storytelling in a way that people can understand it. Because I guarantee you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you this right now. And y'all can write this one down. It doesn't matter how well they prosecute this case. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. People always remember the beginning of a story, the middle of a story, and the end of a story. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It could be a story from the Bible. It could be a story from a play on a football field. Nobody worries about the small ancillary things that happen in a story. I guarantee you, there's no jury member that is sitting at home or in the live chat. Shout out to the jury members that are in the live chat. Nobody is sitting around thinking about those deep matters of the cell phone guy that was there this week. Man, he was telling a great story, man, about those, how they the X's and the O's and the pings and the tower. Nobody's thinking about that. Nobody will even remember that man. They won't. But they'll remember the opening and they'll remember the closing. And they'll probably remember a couple little spicy moments in between Woody and Bean and a couple things like that. But they're not going to remember that 911 operator. They're not. They're not sitting there saying, man, boy, when she was talking about that gate code, wow, that was so interesting. Nobody cares. Now, why am I saying that? Adrian Love, I guarantee you, she's going to bring in her closing argument, she's going to bring up all the ancillary peripheral things to sink a ship. All of them. She's going to be talking about gate codes. She's going to be talking about shell casings on the street and their locations. She's going to talk about everything that doesn't matter. And these people are going to get lost. And they're going to be lost. They're not going to know where to go. And they're going to probably get a hung jury. They're going to probably get acquitted because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to tell a story. Yeah. So anyway, I just think it's going to be very interesting to see how it all shakes out. But I'm definitely here for it. And I appreciate y'all for sure. Drip can mean anything depending on the hood. I have yet to hear anybody say drip means that you're dripping in blood. Except maybe like in Blade or one of those like vampire movies from the late 90s, early 2000s, maybe. But I can't say that I honestly have ever heard drip meaning being in a gang or drip meaning you're dripping in blood. Now, sure, it can maybe mean jewelry or could maybe mean fashion. I can give you that. But I'm sorry. And being the fact, I think considering the source that it came from, Adrian Love, I think we have to be a lot more prejudicial and be like, I need to hear somebody using that. I got to hear some kids talk about that. Because otherwise I can't take it from you. But that's just me. What is Chris? Thank you so much, Kristen. Oh, yeah, Doug might be like, then I wish you had known. I wish I had known. Hey, my fellow Rule 22, can you drop the link again? Most certainly, Miss LJ Hall. And here it is right there for you. And again, I just add, hey, I'm dropping the link. I could pin it to the top. Why not pin it to the top? I'm dropping the link. All I ask is that you, of course, have your microphone. Have your camera on, pin the message to the top. And no profanity. And if we can stay on topic, that'd be dope. Thank you so much, Miss LJ Hall. I got you there. But I do want to say thank you to Rod Factor. Rod, if you want to drop a jump, thank you so much for the $49.99 super. Thank you so much, friend. Feel free to jump on, man. Absolutely. We can chop it up. Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for the very kind super chat. Very kind. Thank you so much. All right. Let me see real quick. There we go. Yeah, drip means swag. I mean, yeah, I just can't think of it any other way, meaning something worse than just meaning swag or just meaning the way you present yourself. I can't see it doing anything more than that. You plead the fifth? Well, see, we done already got you though, because you just dripped twice, mixed chick. So yeah, you're already on RICO. We already got you, homie. We got you. We got him. Yeah, Love be doing the most though. But yep, she did. She quoted the Jungle Book. That was her opening salvo. She was quoting the Jungle Book. And it was a mess. Rod Factor. Grace and peace, friend. How are you?
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. I think I can hear myself as well.
What about now?
Okay, go ahead now.
Okay, look here. I had to call in because I want you to ask Mr. Doug a question. You know, I've been watching his trial since the beginning. However, I saw it on X when Miss Love showed the witness. I'm sorry, showed the jury that picture of that she wasn't supposed to show. And look here, I wish someone would look into that, because if that's the case, if that what happened, then hey, you know what I'm saying, that's big. And then another thing, if you can talk to Doug about also with that, about her being next to the jury as she fumbling and bumbling, going through all these little evidence and stuff like that, and showing to the jury, yeah, that ain't good. So that
no, I agree. Now I've been in the courtroom, and sadly, it's not big. It's not very big. I wish it was a larger room, but it's really not very big at all.
Correct. But
so that being the case, there's not. And watch this. You should go back, and you probably have seen it in like day one and in the beginning, when they had literally like 15, 16 people in there.
Right.
They were jam-packed to the gills. So, I mean, they were all jam-packed in there. So the reason, and I say that because there's not many more places to move, Adrian.
Well, I agree with you on that. I was coming to court Friday, but I mean, I'm sorry, which was today.
Yeah.
But I'll probably pull up Monday next week. But I just wanted to drop that in to let them know about that, because when I saw that video, I was like, whoa, you know, if she got caught right then doing that, hey, it's a lot of time we probably could have missed the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So if you can put that in Doug's ear, whatever, that'd be great. Because you know, I'm YSL. I ain't YSL, but free Jeffrey. You know, they get that straight.
I got you, man. Thank you so much, man. Rob, whenever, man. Thank you so much again. Come on through whenever we get a chance.
Hey, what about the protests? What's up with that? I mean, how much we need? What's up?
I've heard about this. Now, I know his sister, Quandaria Zachary's sister, and someone else have been outside the courtroom protesting for some time. I have not been down there in about 2 weeks. So I know they're on X, Empress, and I forgot the sister's name.
Right.
But I will definitely make sure anything I find out, I put on the community post and make sure people know about it.
Okay. Well, look here. I'm gonna sponsor some people to your channel. I mean, I'm one of them guys that this is my first time ever popping up on someone's channel, But I always stop by and drop, sponsor money here and there. This is me, So
Well, I
keep up the
appreciate
good
you, brother.
work.
Thank you.
Hey man, everything good. Keep the good work. Good content. I'll be giving it you later.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you real soon. We'll catch you again.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right. Grace and peace. Take care, friend. Well, I appreciate that, man. That was good to have him stop on through. But man, we got a packed deck now. How are you doing?
Hey, friend, how you doing?
Quite well, LJ Hall. How's it going?
It's going well. We've met before at court.
We have
Uh,
absolutely.
and we're fellow Rule 22ers now.
Rule 22 in the building.
Yeah, but a lot of time when people like me come on the back end of a Rule 22, they're like, oh, someone's on the back end of this whole trial thing. And people have different purposes. And I think it's very important that one thing that we're missing, and you talked about earlier, was the fact of using these lyrics. We have Hank Johnson, who has the RAP Act, which is HR 2952, and I'm a proponent of it. So we have that. And October the 1st is Music Advocacy Month, coming from the Guild for Music. And we have to realize that there's a lot of things on the back end that this judge or these judges really don't want attention of. I don't know if you noticed that after we got us last people got that Rule 22, she started to act a little differently. And I think that's because she's starting to see that it's not just YouTubers in the building, or how important or how much impact that these communities have and the YouTube community have, but you have people with me, like me. I got 6 subscribers. I'm not here to build a channel. I'm on the back end. I'm a writer. A lot of the things that come through is because of the fact of the HR 2952, the RAP Act, that people are not really supporting because they don't know it's out there. And that's to protect our lyrics, and protect it's protecting our artistic
expression.
Protection. Yeah. I was trying to remember the exact acronym for RAP. I think, Restore Artistic Protections Act.
There we go.
Which is in Congress, has already passed one phase and now to the House. And I really feel like I agree with your community, and you do have the best you got it.
The best live chat on the planet.
Compete with you.
The best live chat on the planet.
Hey, you can't compete with you. But I agree. If the DA really wanted justice for the families, because there are some people unalived.
No question there.
I think that it would have been better served to do it closer to the time. And let's be honest, if we listening, people have already gotten deals for this.
For this, yes. So
paying for the crime in a different way. She's putting it all in a big old bottle and taking a different shot at the same apple. It's just that's the second bite, if we just want to be honest. It truly is a second bite at the apple. But I still don't feel like the families are getting the justice that they deserve on both ends.
No, I agree 100%. And being the fact that, again, I've made no shorts about it, there's probably been some crimes that have been committed. And I mean, looking at the indictment, there's crimes that have been committed, but lumping everybody together, but there are men who could have already been served a year and a half of their sentence already. If you just gone ahead and just took this indictment,
serving 10 years of their sentence already.
Probably so, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, technically, because if it would have been hit before, but when you try to lump this large lump sum, I think that's problematic. But then also, again, I'm super bothered by the fact that, again, I'm not a fan of that music, but on the same note, and I told people this before, I never thought that Ice-T was actually outing himself by saying 6 in the morning, the police was at his door. I never thought that Sir
Hey.
Mix-a-Lot's posse was really on Broadway.
Okay.
And I never thought that LL Cool J would have died if you took his radio away. I didn't think that these were like true statements. I
Here's the
understand them as being
we are
expressions.
We're not prosecuting a group called Foster for the People for the school shootings that happen, and they've got a song called Pumped Up Kicks. The lyrics are, all the little kids in the pumped up kicks better run, outrun my gun. It's called, the name of the group is Foster for the People. And the tune is catchy. I mean, I used to sing it all the time. And then one day I was like, what the heck is they? Did they just have a school shoot in a whole song? But no, they're not getting pulled into a school. Many of the school shootings that happened right after they made this song or this record, when it plays, I'm pretty sure it played sometime near the school shooting we just had in Winder, you know. But I think one more thing, Young Thug may have put himself in the bullseye in 2020 or 2021 when he bailed out all those low offenders. I think he bailed out about 30 people.
Okay, yeah. I don't remember that, but go ahead.
Yeah, he bailed out about 30 people. They made a rap video about it. He went to Rice, and he bailed out low offenders who didn't have bail money. I mean, it was people who were sitting for a year for $800.
See, that's crazy.
And I think that they really wanted to take the shot at him because of that.
Let me also add, because I don't know if you saw my video earlier today, and we were talking about the idea and the notion that I'm noticing a trend. Rappers who have legal issues or rappers who get deleted, sadly, a lot of the time are in their hometown.
Yes.
Young Thug is in his hometown. Nipsey Hussle was his hometown. The Young Dolph is hometown. Julio Fulio hometown. There's a lot of them like this. And the idea, and we were having this discussion, I was pleasantly surprised that a lot of people agree with me. As you're coming up, you might need to leave from where you're from. Because
but you know what? Those are the same rappers. I mean, now they feel like they're going to be ridiculed if they leave, which they shouldn't. They should have better advisors in their pocket to say, let's go. Because the rappers who, I mean, look at NWA. They didn't stay in Compton.
They didn't stay in Compton. But Ice-T didn't. Matter of fact, I was listening to Ice-T and LL Cool J were on a podcast. And they were some of my favorite rappers when I was growing up. And Ice-T was explaining why he started a beef with LL Cool J. And it was because he wanted to get out of LA. And he's like, the only way is LL Cool J said, I'm the baddest rapper in history and rap itself. He said, I went after him so that I could get out.
Wow.
That was it. He was I picked the fight so I could get out.
But I gotta look that one up.
I'm gonna find the short and I'll pull it up.
But look how wonderful they're doing when they get out.
And
many times they feel like you don't owe the streets anything. And
nothing, the street
our young men are not getting mentored enough. I know that we have 100 black men in DeKalb, which is we better watch out. But not say too many group names because they be a RICO.
Right.
And don't you wear your dogs, you know, because you're gonna be a RICO. You know, and I got on blue and green and gold.
There you go. You're in trouble.
But was Love slimed out on Wednesday? Was she slime?
Yes, she was.
She was slime.
I'm like, but see to me,
she supported him.
And I try not to, and I really appreciate this conversation. You are always welcome to come back on.
Thank
you.
I
try not to pick on clothing. I try not to pick on attire and such like that. I don't think it's fair to do that necessarily. So I try not to.
I'm not picking on her clothes.
No, I got you. I got you. But she wasn't green. I'm like, well, hold on now.
The day before he said that you was my girlfriend, I ain't want nobody knowing. Then the next day she was green, was like, yeah, I'm still your boo, but you know.
What in the world is
and
this?
then she tried to grab him and talk to him when he's leaving.
That was super weird.
She was like, you know, baby. It was a little jealous.
It was strange.
That's a new one for you, jealous love.
Speaking of jealous, what do you want?
I just came to say hello.
Hi.
Hey, babe.
I've been since like 2:30.
This is President Firstborn is harassing me in here.
Hey.
Harassing?
Yeah, it's harassing. Goodbye. I'll see you in a minute. That's my baby. Yes. Okay. Let me tell you real quick, and then I do want okay, I did get a text message. It sounds like there was an emergency. So Doug did have an emergency come up. I don't know the ins and outs, the details. I know there was I don't know if he got caught in that. There's a big traffic accident here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's what he was caught into. But I will make sure that if possible, we can reschedule that.
Yeah,
So that's why y'all listen to me tell my bad jokes and the such like that. But I appreciate y'all. All right.
I'll let you move your chat along. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Congratulations. 3 years, everybody.
3 years. Thank you so much.
Everybody. Let's give it up to him. He's doing, all of the YouTubers are doing wonderful things, and we appreciate the content. We appreciate the banter, and we appreciate the fact that what people don't realize is like people like you, Sylvia, Kat. I mean, Sylvia's sitting at boring old courtroom every day, even after she was demonetized. Y'all better put some respect on it.
Yeah. I mean, that's admirable. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, I'd have been like, I go in there, I take my pictures, and I'm out. I'm serious. Because
let me tell you,
I go sell my stuff and I'm done. But
no, you are 100% correct. But now I will try to be down there next week though. Maybe we can shoot me an email so we can plan up. Maybe we can get Rome King to show up too, and we can go on and hang out there and go get some lunch.
Okay, that's great.
I love it. Hey, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Grace and peace. If somebody could, she mentioned, I forgot to ask the exact number, the House bill, the RAP Act bill. If you could, if you can still hear me all, throw that in the chat. I would love for people to be able to check that out. I do agree with that idea that we don't need to hold people accountable for rap lyrics if we don't hold them accountable for, heavy metal, or we don't hold them together for video games or movies, whatever. Come on, I like my John Wick, but I don't want Keanu Reeves catching the case because somebody does something like that. So definitely, if moderators could post it, or if Miss Hall could as well. I got another. Jamila's in the building. Let's see what we got. Jamila, how are you? If you could give me your, she's muted. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her a second to get back on. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much. Somebody's name is RICO. All right, it's House Rule 2952 of the 118th Congress, the RAP Act of 2023. So definitely something to look into. Yeah, I think that'd be dope for us looking at. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much, Transplanted Texan, and the link as well, so you can read up on the bill. Thank you so much, Transplanted. This is an opportunity for you to check into it, see what you see if you support it. I think that'd be good for us to, again, at the end of the day, I don't want, and because one of the questions for Doug was about First Amendment, right? And I don't think any of us really truly want your First Amendment rights to be held against you. For example, something as simple as a poem, something as silly as a skit, or anything of that nature to become something that you have to now defend in a court of law because that's being used against you, held against you, which is kind of wild. So thank you very much for that, Transplanted, and the others. I see countless others that have thrown it in there. Yep, thank you. There she is. Ms. Hall, thank you so much. All right, let us see. Jamila, are you here? How are you? And you are muted, my friend.
Hello.
Hey, how are you, Jamila?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Can you turn on? Can I see your smiling face?
Not right now.
Go ahead.
So I
What
have
you
a
got?
question.
Sure.
Have you watched Miss Sylvia channel where she said that the DA subpoenaed her Google account? What is that about?
Okay, so I have not watched it. I was told I saw it while I was doing my prep for today's show. I saw that came up and said, oh, let me check into that. Somebody else tapped in and said that she was subpoenaed on her Google records. I don't know all the ins and outs of that, so I definitely don't want to say anything reckless or something wrong about what's going on. But Sylvia's been under fire for a while, and I know she's been a lot of the stuff we know is because of Miss Sylvia. So the early days of this trial is because of Miss Sylvia. So we got to definitely, as somebody said, put some respect on her name. So I'll definitely look into it and maybe even reach out to her and find out a little bit more about what is going on. But
yeah, no, I was just wondering, like, what could they possibly like be trying to see?
Right. I have no idea. I really truly, and look, your boy been checking his email too. Like, let me check my own email.
Right.
I'm over looking at my own email. Like, wait, hold on.
Right. But is it also true that some Love has like a bar complaint against her? I seen like I think like an Atlanta news article, I guess in a newspaper, where they're talking about her like for prosecutorial misconduct, if I'm saying it right.
I don't know that, but let me tell you something. It would shock
surprised?
nobody in this chat if somebody said
Absolutely.
that she got some prosecutorial misconduct charges against her. Remember, Melnick was it Melnick or was it Doug that was going to go to the bar during during Glanville? So I don't know, because there's a lot of.
I think they had something to do with Melnick anyway. All of that just arising out of nowhere. I think a button was pushed in behalf of that. Also, I don't think that they wanted him to be Woody's lawyer, just like when she was trying to get Ashley Merchant client to come in while Ashley was away out on vacation or whatever, and saying like, oh, well, she could get somebody else to replace her and all that. Like, yeah, she's real iffy.
No, I got you. What I will say is this. She's done, I think there's no question in my mind. Some of the things that have happened as it relates to the media and this court case. Simple thing like now the camera has to go to the Georgia Seal whenever they have a bench hearing. Those little things like that. Those little hiccups like, oh, they could hear us talking at the counter. But I posted a video where you literally see her holding the microphone on.
She never turns the mic off.
Right. She never turned the mic off. Like, you did that. That's not us. That wasn't the cameraman's fault. That was you.
She never turns the mic off.
So there's some things. So long story short, and I think, and again, this is just me. My name is Jason. I think a lot of the pushback that we're seeing, even with what's going on with infamous Sylvia and such like that, I think it comes from one side of the room, and it's the side of the room that has the squeaky chairs. So I think it's because there's no other reason for it. I can't imagine that the defense would be upset about them being able to be seen. I don't think the defense cares like that. Only people that care is the people that are really scrambling and scraping through this case. So I don't know that emphatically. I don't have a way to double check my own work. So I'm just saying this is my hypothesis that somehow or another that team is really pushing for the silencing of other media. And the very last thing, if you go back and watch there was an activist that came in to get a Rule 22, and initially Judge Whitaker said you can go back into the media room. Basically, you can go in the back. And then the woman came back again at the end of the day. If you watch that exchange, you can tell that the temperature and the energy, if you will, toward other media sources is drastically changed from that exchange. I'm not saying that she did anything wrong. I don't remember the young lady's name. I'm not saying she did anything wrong. I'm only saying that you can tell in that exchange, it was at that moment that things went different. So, I wouldn't be surprised.
I honestly believe that Love is watching everything that is going on these social media sites. I'm telling you.
I mean, we were joking the other day when she was sitting there, her and the other young investigator, young attorney, younger woman, long brown hair. And we were joking about the young lady. It looked like she was on a social media site. I don't think she was. I just was joking, saying I think she's on the best live chat. in the planet, and we're all like shouting her out in the chat because we're like, oh, she must be in the chat. We gotta give her a shout out. But
for sure
I totally
Love
believe
is
that.
on social media.
Shout out.
Sure she's on these Twitter lives. I
Oh my
honestly
gosh.
believe she be on Miss Sylvia Jones all the time, because some of the things that be being said is like right before that stuff happened, where the with the judge saying something to Miss Sylvia, somebody was on there commenting saying it was when they sent the letter to Miss Sylvia house.
Yeah.
It ain't just a random person doing it. Like, come on now.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. Yeah, I forgot about that too. Yeah, so yeah, Sylvia's been under a lot of pressure. Definitely hats off to her to continually, because I probably would have been like, nah, I'm good. I'm doing this from the house. But she's been a beast though. She'll only miss one day.
She shouldn't back down. Cause see, that's
I
the
agree.
thing. Love likes to bully people. And see, she don't know what to do with this case, because I honestly believe that they said that she's 99%. I think she's 99% deals. I don't think that she actually ever like took people to like trial before. I think that she gets all her convictions through deals.
Through plea deals. Yeah, I mean,
right, absolutely.
Yeah, that's like saying, look, I have a spotless record, but I've never actually played a game.
She don't know how, and that's why she don't know what she's doing.
The problem. And but we see it. So I'm hoping that this type of coverage from the independent media sources would be a good way to move the argument and move the conversation to more transparency, because we see it all. Like, nobody's going to say that they didn't see what Adrian Love was waving that piece of paper for the jury to see.
But did you see how she looked at the judge, like on some sneaky stuff, like make sure nobody was paying attention to her? She's very well. She thinks she's sneaky, and see, she can't with all the camera footage and all that stuff going on there. She can't get away with the stuff that she would like to get away with, because she's still sitting there, and I don't see how Judge Whitaker does not see that she's sitting there rolling her eyes, pushing herself back in the seat and crossing, flopping her hands in the air and, making sounds and laughing when, the defense is asking questions. And, even just with that, with all that objections, like you don't even let them get the question out before you just throw out a objection. And then you say, oh, well,
scrambling and scraping.
But I don't understand why Judge Whitaker is allowing her to do that. And it's like you get frustrated and take your frustration out on the wrong one. Like,
I have a theory, but I have to marinate it a little bit. I need to bounce it off some other people, but I have a theory. Maybe I'll bring it up on Monday. I have a theory about why Judge Whitaker doesn't push back on Adrian Love. And I'm most of y'all are probably catching it because of the way I'm saying it. Judge Whitaker doesn't push back on Adrian Love like Judge Glanville did. So I want y'all to, now Judge Glanville still gave her a lot of room, but he did push back a lot. And they had, shouting matches and such like that. Notice they don't have that over here with Judge Whitaker. There's a reason why I think about that. But I don't, I gotta
know why.
Say again.
I said, I can't wait till Monday because I would like to know why.
It's just a theory. It could be a theory.
It could be so that if she do call a mistrial, she won't say, well, Judge, you were biased against me. You were just, you always yelled at me. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
You already on you cheating off my notes already. You on my shoulder? Where you at?
I don't know.
You already.
She is kind of getting tired of her though.
Oh no. She getting tired of her because she knows that it's dragging on much longer than it should have dragged on.
Well, she allowed it though.
This is like the spelling bee where all the kids are spelling the words wrong.
And it
doesn't end.
How old is Love again? 70?
I don't. Oh no.
No, I know. I'm playing.
Love might be every bit. She might be 54, maybe.
She whines like a baby. She whines like a baby. And do you notice how when she wants the judge to do like how she has this narcissistic behavior? It's so funny because when she wants like the judge to be on her side, she talks low.
Yep.
And you know, whatever. Like, girl, if you don't sit down nowhere, and then what about that videotape? I'm gonna get off after this. That
You mean the
video
audio
audio
clip?
she played of Quindaria's of
Dad
Zachary's
and
father. First of all, you could tell that tape right there. If I was Whitaker, I would have had Love ask, oh, excuse my French, Love, I need to speak to you because she lied. Y'all was threatening to arrest that man when y'all didn't even have an arrest warrant.
Yep. Again, I sadly believe Judge Whitaker, and I've said this before, she's going to do whatever she can to not have to throw this trial out so that she herself and her record of potentially being a Georgia Supreme Court justice will not be besmirched. I don't think it's right. I don't agree with it, but I think that's what we're looking at. She's not going to do anything that is going to jeopardize her. Now, let's note this as well. This thing was sinking to the bottom of the ocean under Glanville. Somehow or another, Judge Whitaker has gotten this thing at least moving in a direction where we could all kind of conceptualize that one day, it might be while our grandkids are on the jury, but one day this thing is going to come to.
She tapped the back of the snail's shell a little.
Right. But now I don't agree with it because I think it still should have went to the bottom of the ocean and she should have thrown it out. But she's at least moving it in a direction. And I think that's all she needs. She wanted to prove, this is my theory again. She wanted to prove
because you about to take my words.
That she could resolve this issue. Because again, it was a dumpster fire under Glanville. When she got it, it was on fire. Not only did she get it extinguish the fire, but she's now restored the place. She's gotten rid of the smoke smell and the odor mendacity, and she's trying to get it to port, trying to get it to the finish line. Whether you agree with it or not, I think that's what she's trying to do.
No, honestly, I said that when Harvey put that motion in and said to her that she wasn't going to be able to do it, she's determined to prove him wrong. That's why I don't think that he has too much to say, because he know that she's not going to be able to. First of all, she don't even got Love in check the way she thinks she does. Like,
no, Love is running all amok. Y'all stop playing. That woman is not 30. Hilton might be 33. Yes, I agree with that. If y'all telling me that Adrian Love is 39 years old, I'm done with y'all. You're gonna have to put that. You're gonna have to show me that.
But you notice how Hilton does not even. She done got quiet
because Hilton's tired of this stuff. She like, look, y'all about to look. I'm done with this. But I don't think, and to the last point, y'all stop playing. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull up this link that Texan just sent. To the last point, I don't think they ever expected this to go this far. It's kind of like I never expected this to get this far, and that's what I think. Why I think they're so terrible at it is because they never really thought that. They thought everybody would plead out. They didn't think anybody would actually take them all the way to the end. And therein is the problem. But
I was watching a live. I can't remember who. No, I think it was. Yeah, I was watching a live with the black bar. With the black student law.
Yeah, black.
And he had Ashley Merchant on there.
Yeah.
And they were saying how Love was saying she was going to call her client to the stand, and Ashley Merchant said out her mouth, calling her client to the stand is not a good thing for the state.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Love trying to do.
Yeah, I don't know either. But Jamila, thank you so much. No, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon. Take care, friend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye now. All right. Yeah. I'm reading through some of these comments. Y'all got me all discombobulated. Y'all got me over looking like Woody. Okay. Google says she's 39, but she's 62. That makes sense. I think she could be 62. Yeah. Now that I can believe. Y'all saying, yeah, 39. I'm not going to roll with 39. There's no way in the world. But Yeah, Hilton is under that bus. The wheels on the bus go round and round over Hilton for sure. But no, man, that's a great conversation. Thank y'all so much, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna throw this out there for Rome King. Give him one more time, because then I'm gonna put him in 0-second timeout. But yeah, man, this trial has been definitely one for the ages. And I do believe that there's going to be some kind of, whatever happens with the case, there's going to be some long-term changes. Like there's states like Illinois. I'm originally from Illinois. They don't have a camera in the courtroom. I got a feeling, and I might be like wishing on a star, might be some copium, some hopium, but I do believe that there's going to probably be a day when every trial is going to be recorded. Every trial is going to have a camera in the courtroom, whether it be, one camera, 2 cameras, whatever like that, live streaming it. But I do believe there's going to probably be a day soon because of this, because there's so much that we were able. Boy, if you don't turn your camera on, I'm not talking to you, man, until you turn your camera on. What's going on, Rome King?
I can't hear you right now. One second.
What's happening, brother? How are you? Rome King. Oh, he's a mute. Can you hear me? I hear him moving. I don't know if he driving down the highway or whatever. At any pace. Well, eventually Rome King will figure out how to turn off his how to unmute his phone.
Can you hear me now?
Now I got you. What's happening, brother? How are you?
How you doing, man? I'm doing all right.
Good, man. All right, give us your overall perception, man. What's going on in this trial, Rome? Real quick, tell us a little bit about yourself, because you actually are in the legal field, but not in the criminal aspect. Tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
So, graduate from Morehouse University.
Morehouse University?
Yup. We don't claim Dexter, but it's all good.
No, I don't claim Dexter at all. What class? Class of 99. What class are you?
2011.
Okay.
But
do you come to alumni meetings? Hold on. Do you come to alumni meeting?
No.
See, no, we can't accept you, man.
You can't accept me, but you can accept Dexter.
Dexter don't come either, so don't worry. We don't accept Dexter for other reasons.
But I originally started practicing law in criminal for about 2 years. Then I stopped after obvious reasons. Got into something less stressful, got into corporate law. And that's where I've been at ever since, trying to just build my way up to partner.
I love it. All right, here we go. Tell me about this trial, man. What you got?
It's extremely irregular. Like, they don't teach us this at all. I'll tell you that much. It's very concerning for the simple fact that the way that Ms. Love operates, or the entire DA's office, is comfortable, very, very comfortable. So if they're comfortable, that tells you one important thing. It means that they are used to doing it.
Absolutely. I mean, from the ex partes to the talking back to all of that. Yes.
So it draws up a bigger question, which is, okay, we know that everybody on this indictment is innocent, but they don't care who is innocent on the indictment. Everybody potentially can get life.
Right. You can get it.
Pretty much, like just by association. So imagine how many regular citizens, innocent people that, may hang out with old friends from the neighborhood and so forth. So it's that scary to me. Then the second flag is the treatment from the judge. We all know judges side with the state often. They kind of lean in the same direction, so it's natural. I've never seen this type of lean that heavy. I'm used to federal court, and they're kind of, I guess they have a better sense of security in their position. So the judges really don't care. If you annoy them, you're gonna get it.
Right. You're gonna get it.
But for this is why I'm so attached to this case. I've never seen it this blatant at all. They don't even tell us about this in school. We don't see this on the news. So to have this covered is very eye-opening to people that, may not get caught in the system, and they have, curiosity per se. Yeah. So Fulton just needs a complete overhaul of what they're doing with their legal system. It's just not the DA's office. You got detectives that are stacked up on Brady list as prime witnesses. I don't know who would call a detective that's on a Brady list, but they do. That's all they got. They're not fired. They didn't transfer them out, so they know that these detectives have these records of being untruthful in court.
Right.
And they ignore it. They keep them staffed, and they're their best investigators. Coincidentally, we won't put any assertions to say that they do it all the time, but their best detectives are the ones that lie.
Why is that? Why is that? I mean, this case is so bad. This case is so bad.
So you got stuff like that. Then you go back over to how Ms. Love handles witnesses. It's not, I can see if it was the defense witness. These are their own witnesses. And just for a heads up, in case some people don't know, you have all the time in the world to prep your own witnesses with no issue.
Let me ask that, because that was something I wanted to talk about on Friday. It was very clear that they had not prepped Quandarius Zachary.
Not at all.
However, they did prep the cell phone guy. They did prep the 911 operator. Why is it that they prep some but not others?
You got to see who did the cross-examination on them. That was Atkins.
Say it again.
You got to remember who did the cross on them. That was Atkins. So
Okay.
Atkins most likely dealt with them.
That is such a weird flex. I'm like, why would you not? And in my opinion, it would salve a lot of the contention that they bring to the witness booth anyway. If you just kind of prepped them and say, look, you got to go up here. I got to ask these questions, whatever. But it does seem weird. Like you didn't prep this guy at all.
It's like Ms. Love just don't want to talk to anybody. Like
she just want to throw videos up there. She wants to throw videos and audio clips.
I'm getting the sense that she truly thinks she's better than anybody that gets up on that witness stand. That's just my allegation. It's not, for a fact, but it's given that type of vibe. Atkins clearly preps his witnesses, and they're the most boring.
Right. I would love to see Atkins with like a sledge, or even Woody. And then let Simone deal with like cell phone guy, and Adrian deal with 911 operator.
Somebody brought up a good point about how Love was afraid of Mr. Zachary's father.
Yeah, and in retrospect, maybe that's it. But
I can't get over how she said the call was a threat.
Right.
And all he said was, I'm getting a lawyer and private investigators. If you want to come see my son, come to the hospital. So he never neglected to tell him where he was. And all he said was, I'm getting legal representation. And she brought that tape in there in front of a judge, in front of every lawyer in that courtroom, and said she was threatened.
And yeah, it didn't do what she thought it would.
It's not just that. You have to think about a DA saying she's threatened. You know how bad that can go left?
Oh, yeah.
You would be up under the jail. Like if nobody actually sat there and listened with attorneys present and somebody was just self-representing themselves, you would be probably in jail for at least about 10 years.
Yeah, easily.
So it's stuff like that, and the way that she interprets things, that I don't see how she hasn't had more complaints on the bar. As for earlier, it did come up on the website for our bar association. She has gotten a complaint.
Okay, I was going to ask you that.
So she's gotten a complaint. And it's based off of Steele's assertions of what happened during the trial when Glanville was present mainly. So he does like 3 breakdowns of examples on there. Ex parte is one of them. One of them is making accusations towards him that were unfounded, and he proved that they were unfounded. And I'm not sure what the third one was, but
was it not? Well, was it not when called him unprofessional and unprepared?
I believe so. On the site, I have to look it up, but on the site it has these little drop down tabs you can click on. Okay. It'll give you like a full breakdown of the brief.
Don't send those to me. Don't send those to me.
Oh, absolutely. But for the most part, I'm just surprised the other attorneys didn't file it yet. So
am I correct? And you're thank you so much, Rome King. Am I correct? If somebody gets a bar complaint, the public doesn't know about it until it gets elevated to a certain level. Is that correct?
That is correct. So what end up happening is they'll make sure it's not like frivolous or anything like that. And once they confirm that it's not, it usually depends on what lawyer really does it. So if you have more tenure, they're more inclined to kind of take favor of like, okay, this person has a good record. We don't believe them to make this claim likely. So still making that claim, as much as he's been practicing law, like a lot of people haven't noticed yet, but a lot of the case law that the state has been using are literal cases that he's been on.
Right.
So imagine going against an attorney and you're
citing him.
Your best defense is him.
That's savage right there. Yeah. I'm citing you.
And had the audacity to call him, a liar or, being, unbecoming in court. It's ridiculous. So at that point, my thinking of Miss Love is she needs to retire ASAP.
Oh, I unequivocally believe that. The problem is she wants to be DA, and I believe she's holding out hope against hope for what might happen in November, because I think she's hoping and wishing that something will happen with the DA, and then she can drop that A off in front of her name and run and become DA.
The Bar Association is a little bit different. So she kind of took a hit that, usually if you would have to go in front of a judge, you might have, I would believe she would be just fine. But for the Bar Association, that's just your peers. This is like other attorneys that are standing, like high standing.
For sure.
So it's going to be pretty tough to kind of convince them with the 4K footage we've been getting. So they don't even need a transcript. Still can just, hey, here's this link to YouTube. Go watch
this link. Like Dear World Christian made a whole montage of, he has a whole playlist called Love. Like, just watch the whole playlist and get back to me.
And that's what makes it so bad, that it's all televised. So it's not like the transcript isn't getting everything, or they'll usually make excuses like that.
Right.
But when you're on video and you're doing these acts and making these assertions on people that have, say what you want about Steele and his clients that he represents, he's never had a complaint ever in 30 plus years.
Do you see it? Do you agree with me then that it might be Adrian Love that's exacerbating some of this pushback against the camera itself, as well as alternative media being in the courtroom? Because it doesn't make sense for anybody else to be upset about it.
I'm gonna put it this way. I don't think she's directly responsible. I think that's more of a Fannie decision.
That's fair.
I believe she knows that the elections are coming up for her position and stuff like that. And this case really isn't helping her in the optics of, trying to run again. Looks very, very rough.
And the bad thing is, all they would have to do is just drop the case.
She can't. They're double, they triple, quadruple down, and that's where I see the judges trying to kind of, give them a float, because they've invested a lot of taxpayer money into this trial, so they won't get a second chance so lightly. So a lot of people will say, well, if they don't get double jeopardy and they run free, You know how much money this trial has cost?
Like, so, okay. And I don't know if you heard me say this. So if you've spent this amount of money, like let's use you're trying to flip a house and you don't realize the house is a money pit. Now you bought it at a tax lien. You've already tried to put in, let's say you put in $100,000, but after the smoke clears, you realize it's going to be another 150, maybe even $175,000 to get this house up to snuff. Do I put it in there and have a house that's $400,000 in a $200,000 neighborhood, or do I just cut my losses and say I need to go ahead and cut my losses? Because and it's going to take longer than you anticipated because something's wrong with the foundation or something, a major issue is coming up that is really going to drag this out. So not only am I going to spend $175,000, it's going to take me another year to get this house ready so I can just maybe rent it and possibly break even after about 10 years.
I'm gonna try my best to
cut loss now.
I'm gonna try my best to try to give you that comparison to what it's happening with the trial. So imagine the trial is a house, like you said.
Facts.
She picked Miss Love picked the right neighborhood. Like it's a nice little $500,000 plus and up house neighborhood, right?
Yep.
Unfortunately, as she was repairing, she set up a meth lab. How
did she accidentally set up a meth lab?
accidentally sets up a meth lab in there. She has a large variety of aggressive pit bulls in the back. A few have passed away, unfortunately. We don't know why, but they're in the backyard. She didn't even bury them. They're just back there.
Wow.
There's been a lot of DV calls on the home. They haven't finished the home. It's like they're squatters, but they're all there. Now imagine trying to resell that.
And they've been doing it for about 10 years.
The meth lab has now issued a condemn warrant for the house. Like it's condemned now.
Right.
Now she has to try to sell it. That's how bad this case is.
No,
so,
I got you.
It made perfect sense why Paul Howard never took this case up when he never okayed this case. It made perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense. But okay, sticking with your example or even mine, I think we could all agree that you're not going to be able to sell this house.
Oh, absolutely not. Unless
in your example, you're not going to be able to sell it. In my example, we're not going to be able to rehab it.
You can't even rent it. You can't. Your renter is probably going to be like 5 roaches and a rat.
Right. They're already in there.
They're there.
They're already up in there.
They're there.
I think we all agree the best thing to do is hire a bobcat. On the side of the road, the little sign that says
Look,
Bobcat.
You can even knock the house down. Like if the trial just ends, you can even knock the house down, and it's still going to be hard to sell that lot.
Well, no, then you can just scrub it. And
nobody want to move on top of a place where 12 dead dogs were. It's just not. Not in a $500,000 house neighborhood. They're just not.
No, I totally get your point. I agree with you. It's sad to see because at the end of the day, I think most of us, and following the poll, the lion's share of us think it's going to go to mistrial, or if it goes to a jury, it'll come back not guilty.
Good point in the chat. Good job, Angie. The Young Dolph case was done in 5 days for that verdict, and now they're going to go to sentencing. That's how a real trial works.
Right.
That's when you have tangible evidence, reliable witnesses, trusting investigators with clean records of being honest in conduct. Now you flip it to Fulton, no tangible evidence. They got to link you to a story, and allegedly Miss Love is story impaired, so she can't really tell stories. She can't really connect it. She doesn't care about tangible evidence. I don't know if you remember her saying, this is going to stick in my mind for a minute, but when she was questioning QZ, somebody objected, and there was that's not on the transcript. And Miss Love blurts out, it doesn't matter what's on the transcript.
Yeah.
When you got somebody like that, who doesn't care, they can misinterpret anything they want, unchecked. That's why I said I don't. When you said Glanville gave her more pushback, I don't believe she got pushback from either one. A lot of people don't take note because in order for you to get pushback from a judge, it comes with the order. You get consequences. She hasn't got.
I'm definitely not trying to disagree with you. Real quick, while it's on my mind, hey, Ms. Hall, here's that link that I told you about with Ice-T talking about his rap beef with LL Cool J. There's that link right there. I agree with you, Rome King. I'm not disagreeing with you just to be cantankerous. My impression is I feel like he did, and maybe just push back in the verbal sense, maybe push back without, I'm gonna put this in your official record or in the folder or whatever like that. So definitely more than Judge Whitaker's doing, but Judge Whitaker's getting, again, like her bladder finally helped her make a right decision the other day and tell her to stop talking.
Right.
But yeah, she gonna still do it.
She was there.
We were literally betting that she was gonna come back the next day to finish up that discussion. We really thought she was gonna happen.
Nope. Before I answer that, Filipino girl, if the state actually won, it would benefit them great for a RICO conviction because Georgia state RICOs are rarely done, and I think it's only been like one successful attempt, if I can remember right.
The Georgia cheating scandal was a RICO.
Right. So stuff like that. If you win it, you get some major points, especially from whatever county you're in, because that's a pretty hard thing to do for a state RICO. But if she loses, it's just as worse because of how much time and money is invested into it. You got to remember you're paying for like judges, you're paying for officers, you're paying for records, you're paying the DA's office, you're paying for jurors, you're paying it's so many things. You're even slowing up trial calendars for other
cases.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's millions for this trial right now. It's not 100,000, it's millions.
Oh yeah. I'm only going to say that I agree with you 100% about that. I think the motivation to move this along is not there. So and I think it's very interesting that we have the P. Diddy case that's going to be potentially going to be a RICO. So we'll be able to compare it in a roundabout type of way. And I want people to be able to compare it because I think
know why he wasn't called earlier. I read that indictment. That was a little wild for me. I don't know if I'm too vanilla, but that was a little bit crazy.
Was that Mr. Combs?
Did you read the indictment?
I did not read the indictment yet. Somebody already said we need to do an audio book, so it'll be a Rome, Dear Woke, King, Christian audio book. We'll read the indictments.
I'm not reading Diddy indictment. I'll tell you that right now.
It'll be after dark.
I might get a felony. Like if you read that out loud, you might look. That's a felony right there.
We don't need that. Never mind. Never mind. Look, everybody read it at your own leisure.
When I read it, I sat there imagining. I'm like, there's a single mom somewhere looking for baby oil, and this man just bought out 1,000 bottles that week, and they're just out of luck. They're just out of luck in Target, just like, oh.
Yeah, we out of here.
And
that is hilarious.
Somewhere, he's just going.
That is hilarious. Little Raekwon is ashy because of Diddy, man. What's up with this? Little Shaniqua was ashy all because of Diddy, man. That's messed up. This rascal.
Look, Dexter Bunn. Look, he had his little shot there. He probably was in the house, but that's allegedly. Let me say that.
Allegedly. Allegedly. Oh my God.
I gotta protect myself. Dexter petty, I can tell. But back to the trial. I forgot.
Go ahead.
What were you asking before? I'm sorry, you got sidetracked there. Oh, bad.
I don't remember either. I have to roll back the tape. However, all right, let me ask you this: how long is this trial going to take?
My humorous side wants to say to like 2032, but realistically, I can see it lasting until, if we continue this specific pace, probably next July or August.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And that's a long time. And you got to think about, this might be good. This might be the only silver lining. Georgia might finally adopt a bill for, some states have bills that pay people insurance to their jobs, to where they can actually pay people on jury duty like as though they're normally working. But Georgia doesn't have that.
I want Georgia to adopt RICOs must be done by the feds.
Look, you and me both, because this is embarrassing.
That would be the best, in my opinion.
That was the first sign for me when I first heard about it. I was like, why didn't the feds pick this up? They got all these witnesses and evidence. Like, this is something they would have pushed them out the way for with no problem.
Absolutely. Hold on, let's bring Cindy in here, because Cindy been waiting to hop in here.
Sure.
Let's go. What's happening, Cindy? How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Quite well, thank you.
Good,
Cindy,
good.
what juror number are you? What juror number are you? Come on, tell the truth. What juror are you?
I don't have one.
You sure? You're safe here. This is a safe spot, safe space. All jurors, all DAs, everybody's welcome here in the best live chat on the planet. All right, tell us what you think about this. What you think about this case?
I think it's bad. I think it's bad all the way around. It's been bad, and it's only getting worse. But the one thing I'd like to point out is, what's that saying where it takes 30 days to create a habit, 28 days to create a culture or something? The way those people behave and carry themselves in that courtroom is absolutely a culture of that office. It's not like she accidentally blew this case out of the water. They do this all the time.
I love it. No, And a lot of people said that with we've been joking about Dexter Bond and Ashley Merchant, but a lot of people see it right there. I think it's actually worse in the Dexter Bond Ashley Merchant than it is with Adrian Love, but they're neck and neck for sure.
Right.
But no, I think that's a very good.
I watched Ashley and Dexter, and he's something else. Oh my goodness, he's
sassy.
She's better than me. I couldn't handle it.
No, not at all. I appreciate it though. Now, how long have you been watching the trial?
A good 6 months.
Oh wow, you in there? Okay.
Yeah, I first started whenever Lead and AV first started covering, like when Woody. Maybe it's only been like 4 months when Woody's first came on. Yeah.
I think Woody is responsible for the growth of and interest in this channel. Let's just be honest. Yeah. Everybody is okay. Drop a Woody emoji in the chat if you are a Woody disciple. Like, truth, it's okay.
I had a joke. If I was 20 years younger, he would have been my next ex-husband.
Oh no! Oh no!
That's not good.
We're gonna need that not to happen like that. We're gonna need that not to happen like that.
Right. But that's it. It's good talking to you. I watch you all the time.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Whenever I get a chance, feel free to jump back on again.
No problem. Y'all have a good night.
All right, take care, Cindy.
Good night.
Speaking of love connection, Rome King. No, just kidding.
Look. I'll talk about it now. Look, I'll put
let's not get you caught up over here.
Look, she can call me and complain. She can file a complaint with me. I ain't got no problem with that.
Y'all know that Rome King has.
I'm trying to be the Brown Ashley Merchant like couple. Like, that would be perfect. Like, we would be unbeatable.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Oh, the last point I wanted to make.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
It has to do with Mr. Zachary.
Okay.
So I hope some type of civil rights attorney like contacts him or his dad. But from what I'm getting from the way that Miss Love played it in court, so she had him as a witness. He explained he was in the hospital.
Correct.
And usually when that happens, you have to kind of put that on pause, like legally, until you confirm the status, right?
Correct.
And what she did instead, since she couldn't violate HIPAA, and no doctor is going to talk to you without a warrant or permission, she got a judge to sign a warrant, arrested him, put him in Grady Detention Hospital, and got their own doctor to say, "Hey, you're fine, buddy. Just drink some water. You're good."
Yeah. Take
Here,
rub some dirt on it. Rub some dirt on it. You'll be okay.
A little Neosporin. You're good.
You go, my guy.
So, that was the most wildest thing I've seen. And then the judge, like that's what I really think had the judge on edge the whole week.
You're right there with me. Yes. Okay, go ahead. Because I think you're about to say what I'm thinking.
Saw how that played out, and that for that to be done, it's not just a county issue. Like that becomes federal, because then you're dealing with HIPAA, you're dealing with civil rights. He has the right, his Fifth Amendment right to be safe in his persons. They didn't even have that in play correctly. So when you do something like that, all it takes is one civil rights lawyer to call them, and
it's off.
They'll probably be on the news for about probably a year from how wild this case was.
And I want to build off of that, because I agree. I think part of the pushback, the animus toward the camera, comes from the fact that Judge Whitaker and Adrian know that they was in some cahoots, and maybe she lied to her. Maybe she came up there and just lied to her. Because again, a material witness is usually not used like they used it. Am I right?
That is correct.
Okay, so if you're not familiar, the DA's office determined that, same thing with Woody, that they were material witnesses, that they needed to have them, and is usually, if I'm not mistaken, is usually used if the person is on the, if the defense is trying to get a witness. Is that usually how it works?
Yeah, usually for the most part they can do the same, but it's under very specific circumstances. He has to be unwilling. He has to be on the run. It has to be something that's obstructing their ability to get to him.
Not that I'm in the hospital getting a blood transfusion.
Bingo. So
right.
That was
so I think
odd thing when she brought up the recording, and that's another thing you can see the judge kind of got very pushed back by.
Yes, that's why she didn't want it to be.
Yeah. It not only confirmed she lied about the threat, it confirmed that they knew where he was, because the dad said like 50 times, he's at the hospital. If you want to come here. So he was not on the run as she alleged in the material witness warrant.
There you go.
So that was another huge red flag. So he wasn't obstructing anything. This dude is okay. I'm in the hospital. You can come find me here.
Right. Catch me outside. But
so
you gotta wait till I'm outside. But yeah, he told them where they were.
But due to her, I don't know how to call this. Maybe I'm gonna just be nice. Due to her poor planning of witnesses, that was her only method of prolonging a week where she probably didn't have enough witnesses on backup.
Is there any possibility that Judge Whitaker can start again? I know you've heard me in my shot clock analogy, but is it possible that she says, "Hey, your next witness, you have 5 hours"?
Never.
Okay.
Nah.
It makes me sad. It makes me.
I wish I could agree, but the way that she has this pattern developed, so what she'll do is, she'll release the jury, and she'll do a little private admonishment of her to let her know, like, hey, I'm gonna need you to chop, make it quick. But when you see the defense, you see something completely different. The jury is present. They're on the stand. So when you have a judge that derails you mid-sentence to say, hey, you got 30 minutes or how long you got there, buddy?
Right. Okay, let me ask you this. What would be a reasonable... Okay, so now Judge Rome King is now Judge Rome King. What could you do? What would you do as judge, or what could be done as judge to move this along? Somebody's name is Starfish and Coffee. Shout out to this person who named himself Starfish and Coffee.
This would take a judge to be super. Like if it was me personally, I would have to be super devoted to it. So what I would do is I would break down their exhibits of evidence. You seen what they were doing when she first got in the chair? Like it took them a month and a half to kind of get through motions.
Yeah.
Before any motions, I would just take a week or two nonstop getting through evidence, and I would eliminate stuff myself. or at least tell them to take a look at it. If you can't convince me otherwise, I'm taking it off the table for evidence or witnesses or so forth. Then if it's still slugged around, I would initiate a shot clock. I would let them know, like, hey, we're gonna do this by the book. I'm gonna give you all blocks of time. This is your block of time. If you can't do it within that time, make your argument. That's not my fault. You're a professional. This is what we do. We have, a lot of people may not know this, but we can time we're trained to time any argument we have.
Right.
So we know how long we'll talk. We know how long it'll take. For the most part, give or take a few minutes or so. Miss Love, give or take a few hours.
Days.
So it's different. So that's why Doug kind of, he had enough. He was just it's like I've never seen emotion like that, where it's like one of the reasons wasting time. That was like
wasting time. Time is being squandered. Time is being squandered. No, I agree. So, all right. So Judge Rome King, we've made you judge, and you're gonna familiarize yourself. Do you really believe that Judge Whitaker wasn't familiar with the case? Do you really believe that?
Nah, that's me being nice. I don't feel like she was in the right position to get familiar with it. That's one, because of how long it took the recusal. So you remember they had that long, almost 2 months gap.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You're right. Yeah.
So when they dropped it in her lap, she only had maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and she doesn't look like the person to kind of just dive into something like that. She probably had other trial calendars she had to situate and whatnot.
Right.
So she just pretty much she's taking it by ear. So she'll probably read what's going on that day of what the state is presenting. And that's how she's been handling it day by day. That's a huge issue, because if you don't have foresight, that's going to prolong the trial even longer, because then you're going to have to run into more motions by the day.
Yeah.
That's why I said I would have limited a lot of evidence, a lot of witnesses. A lot of that is cumulative. So,
oh yeah,
I can't believe she would, look through the case and not see that herself as long as she's been a judge. That's why I said I don't feel like she actually looked at anything.
So, Danny boy, Danny Boo. So I don't know if you heard my discussion about, I think RICO should be paid at a different level. So if you're
I was there. I said 100. You said 500.
Yeah, we're having so I totally believe that, murder trials, okay, fine. And it's just a single murder trial. They get to $25 a day. But if they roll up in here with something with a RICO with 9 defendants and 57 charges, you got to pay them at a different rate. Because again, like, this is it. Like, I really want to know, like, I'm not even being funny. If a juror gets done with this case and wants to come on this channel,
they're on bankruptcy or they're homeless. It's one of the two.
Right. They're probably going to be living at the meth lab that you were talking about earlier.
Look, they're at the condemned joint. Like, they're
right.
chilling.
I want to know how did this impact them monetarily?
Greatly, because like I was saying earlier, if we go by like the 137 days, $25 a day, they're making a little bit over $3,500 in a year. And that's like rent for one property.
I mean, really, that's Rome King's gas. And y'all know Rome King is high fashion. That's his Taylor bill.
Look, I get $8 per gallon. Like, they're done. They're done. Like, that $25 is not going nowhere.
Have consequences. No,
like, they can't even get a Happy Meal after the trial ends. Like, that's depressing.
Yeah. Like, that's and lunch in the cafeteria is not cheap, so they don't even give you that. So, like, man, you can't even eat there. Yeah, I would love to see like a change. Like, if y'all gonna let Georgia do RICOs, then pay the jurors.
But this is the thing. That's what I was saying about the bill. A few states already have this enacted to where jobs are required to have insurance to pay out juror duty people as though they work their regular hours for that day.
Yeah.
We don't have that in Georgia, so it's pretty much you just, okay, here are your $25. Good luck. Hope you got night shift.
Right.
So you're just out of luck.
Yeah, because I'm telling you right now, don't let me get a summons for a RICO. Let me get a summons.
I
I'm
would
telling
just
you,
told
as
them
sure
for
as my name is
religious
Jason.
belief, I can't commit. I would just let them know, like,
Right,
yo,
I can't commit. No,
this
there's
is
no
affecting
way.
my religion right now. I can't come here.
My religion is thou shalt not do RICO.
We don't judge. I can't do
No,
it. Sorry.
and I'm in the live chat. I'm sorry. I'm
I
in the
will not
live
be able,
chat.
look, you seen how they tried to arrest somebody just for like, hey man, I got a new job. I'm trying to get out of here.
Right. That's yo, that was really depressing. That was sad. I'm like, this person is, for whatever reason, wants to get a new job. How in the world are y'all sitting
He
there
didn't
horse
have a
trading?
choice. He was getting $25 a day.
Right. We know why. Right. This person, y'all over here horse trading about whether or not this person should be able to go get a new job. And they were leaving Georgia. So they went, this is a big deal, big difference. Like, y'all are great. That's
Rico,
crazy.
if somebody refused to show up, they're going to jail.
Yeah.
They're going to jail. It's that simple.
Yo, I'm gonna tell them right now, man.
That's the bad part. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're kind of in a position where it's kind of like Stockholm syndrome, and they're kind of just stuck.
Well, but and I thought this was interesting. You were with us as well. They didn't. I thought they were going to ask the jury about where they've been for those 2 months. Post Woody, and they just asked them like, "Are you going to be able to do this?" And everybody shook their head, yes.
Look,
Probably because they didn't want to be like
lying.
the odd man out.
Everybody lying.
Like, y'all crazy, man. I'd have been like, no, I cannot do this. Because I'm
Everybody
a part of the best
if
live
they got
chat on the
internet
planet.
connection, they saw something. If they got cable, they saw something.
Bro, if they was in Kroger, they saw something.
Look, they got friends, they heard something.
I mean, hey, if they go to Jamal Bryant Church, they probably been hearing about it all the time. I'm sorry. Shots fired. Shots fired at Newbert. Sorry. And that's your brother. That's your Morehouse brother, man. I don't claim him either. I don't claim him either. I don't claim neither of the rest.
Don't do that to me. Look. We're not gonna pull a Dexter today, man. Don't.
Bro, I will throw all of them on you. E. Dewey, I'll throw them all on you.
I told you,
Dean Carter, I'm throwing them
I drafted him to ICDC with Little Romeo them, so he's up there now. He's getting a trade.
Okay, I guess. But no, that was good, man. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you coming through tonight.
For the most part, the trial right now, I'm probably leave it on this note. It is about to get more interesting in the fact that we haven't seen the defense get up and plead their case yet. And once it gets to that point, I guarantee you, remember this moment. Just pay attention to Miss Love. You're gonna see her at the most critical point she's ever been in mentally.
Okay, let me ask you a question, because I have a thought. You might have heard this. What if when the state finally rests and say, "We rest, Your Honor," the defense gets up and say, "We have no questions," because they haven't proven anything, and just give it to the jury?
Nah, I feel like Miss Love isn't gonna rest because she's gonna do a closing.
That's fine. Let her do her closing. So
gonna hold another
the
chapter in the Jungle Book,
and let her finish reading Green Eggs and Ham, or if you give a mouse a cookie, go ahead and finish reading it.
Red fish, blue fish.
Right. Was it Where the Wild Things Are? Go ahead and finish reading it. But what if the defense just says, y'all haven't proven anything, and we're just not going to even participate in this shenanigans? What do you think about that?
I think she would be saving her from embarrassment. I honestly, in my honest opinion, I don't think the jury will side with the state. What you'll learn in trials, the reason why a lot of state DAs do trials in a fast pace, they can present cases on facts and not personality. So everything is not really absorbed. When you spend a year with somebody, you get a real sense of their personality, and then it naturally affects you.
I don't like you now, and I've only been on the phone with you for 20 minutes, man.
Oh, look, you gonna do me like Bun now? Look,
bruh.
I'm gonna send you to that portal.
Bruh, you my guy. Don't you even worry about it. No, I totally agree. I do think the longer the trial,
it's not good for the state.
It's not good for the state. I agree.
You got people that are sitting right there. You got $25 a day. You got prolonged time of them sitting there. You got to look at Miss Love tell witnesses they can't read after they say they can't read. Like,
bro, she was really about to go in on that man on whether or not he could read.
It's that bad. It was that
you
wild.
down bad, girl.
It was the ego. I'm telling. It was.
Oh no,
you have to
you're
think
right.
about it. You have her in the courtroom, and she's like around sharks, like real sharks. Like these are known faces in the courtroom that are representing the defense, and it's just Miss Love, assistant DA,
right?
Just her, and she feels like I feel like she's trying to overcompensate, and she's bringing the loud voice. She's getting up in people's face. She's trying to make assumptions to the sort. Like it's like she watched a soap opera law show.
What is it? What is the Spanish soap opera? Telemundo? No,
Telemundo.
You know what I'm talking about. They're very dramatic soap operas. They usually have really bad acting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's her for sure.
But that's the demeanor that's in that office, because you got to. I didn't really piece it together because Miss Hilton doesn't really show it. Atkins and the short guy. I don't know
Brown.
Yeah.
That's another one of your brothers.
Look. I ain't going.
He 2014.
He can't be on cases like this. He can't be on cases like this. But when I saw Dexter, I'm looking at these senior staff people. So you see how they behave, right?
Yeah.
It's all ego. Because you seen how he reacted to Ashley. It wasn't because Ashley was being mean or anything like that. He was intimidated. He saw somebody that has won many trials, been in cases like this. This is nothing to her. Like, that's her element. She's comfortable.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He was uncomfortable because he's never been in that format. They didn't hire him to do cases. So he hasn't seen a courtroom.
Probably not.
So now,
no, you're right.
So now he had to sit there and pretty much try to plead his ego on the stand and try to, hey, you don't know this. Let me give you a 101 in law. And then 2 minutes later,
law school 101. Like,
2 minutes later, ends up perjuring himself. Literally 2 minutes later.
Right.
So that's the type of energy that's in that office, and that lets you know another like a big red flag is they're used to railroading people without sustainable legal defense that is like actually good.
Correct.
Or if they have any. So he's used to not giving records. Miss Love is used to steamrolling over like probably 5-year experienced attorneys. It's crazy.
No, I agree with you. Let me see. Yeah, Nathan's been served. We'll talk about Nate on another show. Wait, you're snickering. What you got? Go ahead, Rome King. Go ahead.
I ain't gonna say.
Let it out. This is a safe spot. Look. It's a safe space, man.
It's a safe space.
It's a safe space.
I'm an unindicted co-conspirator, man.
By the end of the night, though, check your email.
I got a warrant. Like, it's done. It's done.
Check my email real quick.
Miss Love don't let nothing. You see how she did Woody after you got off the stand?
I mean, really. Those people are wild, man.
You don't remember in the chat? I knew it. I said, Miss Love, the look art, like, no, she's getting a warrant before he leave that parking lot. Like,
before he get out the parking lot, good. He gonna be in cash money trouble.
Miss Love was on the phone as soon as she walked out the door. She's like, no. He threatened me.
All right. So we've resolved the issue with the judge. We've fixed the issue with the jury, and so on and so forth. Man, we're making the world right, bro. Right here, we're doing this right here.
Absolutely.
We're doing it.
I think if it was more uniformed in court, that's why I said I really don't. It's going to sound harsh. I really don't care too much about the particulars of the case. I just care about how it's being tried. Because it doesn't matter who's guilty on that side. It lets you know that something is being normalized from the state and it's being shown. So if they treat millionaires like this, imagine that 9-to-5 person in there with a public defender or like a $2,000 attorney. Like they're gonna be in there like, okay, I got to do 189 years. Damn, I'm out of luck. Got to go.
Right.
189 years.
189 years.
That's crazy. That
doesn't even make sense, Mike.
That was insane. And then he was a kid. It was insane. That dude was like, I believe he was probably 20 or 21 at the time.
Yeah.
Hey, 189 years. Like, what you want to do? What you want to do, Zachary?
I guess that's it. No, man, that was a good catch, man. All right, real quick, what's your prognostication on Zachary? What's going to be his outcome after this?
Which Zachary, little Zachary or
little
big
little D, the son?
Okay. I feel like they're gonna leave him alone because I know Fanny's probably gonna, tell her to leave him alone. That's a can of worms they don't want to touch. If he does anything, that's what they really should be worried about. So I think they're keeping that close to their chest in case he tries. So if he does a civil rights filing, they're gonna say, well, he perjured himself or he did this or that. We're gonna send him in jail, so it don't matter.
It won't. But I agree with you. Okay. What about Antonio Sledge?
Antonio Sledge. I feel bad for Buddy. He might be going back. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Really?
He might be going back. The way that they set him up, you got to think about the way that Miss Love is doing this, and it's a lose-lose no matter who you are as a witness on the state side. So what she did was she got everybody to take a plea deal, gave them a number of time or off, like completely free, to where they couldn't refuse it. And attorneys that aren't experienced, their eyes got big and they're like, okay, look, I know your record, buddy. You need to take this as a godsend. Not knowing that she wrote their own testimony on those plea agreements. So how on earth do you remember something, I want to say 15 years ago, and then it's something you never said?
So let me ask a question. So that's part of my issue. So they wouldn't be able to say, hey, I didn't know. I mean, would they not be able to say I wasn't prepped? Because this is one of those issues where I think prepping, if you wanted to, prepping would have resolved it.
This is only something an attorney can complain about if it's their witness. So they can't really say anything as a witness because they're expected to tell the truth regardless. As far as the way that the plea deals were wrote up, okay, example, let's see who's in the chat. Okay, there go my twin. So Kiana, if I gave her a plea deal, I was saying I'm going to put you in prison for 189 years. You stepped on my shoes the other day. It's a felony. And instead, I said, you know what? I'll suspend all that time if you sign this plea agreement and you admit to this crime of stepping on my shoe. Ain't got to read it, but here you go. Just sign it, and we're good. I wait a decade and a half later. We come to court, your memory is already stretched thin.
For sure. Okay.
And now you got to read something you never said out your mouth. So it's a lose-lose. Like, you're not going to remember, period, anyway, because you never said it. Now I get to introduce this plea agreement into court as a fact. As a fact on the record. I'll take it on more.
No, but I'm just like, why do they not say, hey, well, you at least gotta, again, it's 15 years or 12 years. Forget it. 10 minutes ago. At least refresh the man's memory.
This goes back to that same problem I was telling you. The state's witnesses don't have these $100,000 attorneys. So you got attorneys that are taking these deals because in their mind, they're not seeing long term. They're only paid $2,000 to get them out of trouble. So they're just like, all right, we're in and we're out. My job's done. So when they get in court, you don't even have that same sustainability of protection from them because they weren't planning to protect you from the deal anyway. If they had a lawyer like Steele, the deal probably never would have been signed. I'm probably as honest as I can get with that.
All right.
What, gotta hold you up for more money?
You know it. You already know who it is. You already know who it is.
Tell her you know Miss Love.
For some reason or another, y'all, real quick. For whatever reason, my child is enamored with this. Okay, the Taiwanese hippopotamus at the zoo. What's it called? Mudang.
Oh, that's a curse word.
Right, it's not like a cuss word, but it's a little. I don't know why she's enamored with it, and she's like, Okay, so she just got to show me this little hippopotamus.
Look, we can't make fun of people. I ain't gonna say nothing.
It's a hippopotamus. It's not.
Look, I'm not gonna say who it resembles. I'm not gonna do it.
And she just said, "Got to come. Go to bed. You're gonna get up in the morning. No, go to bed. Go to bed.
Look,
what's that kitchen look like?
Well,
then let's see. Clean the kitchen, then we'll talk about it. Bye.
Look, you're doing some racketeering over there. You're ordering the gang to further your DWC gang.
Right. And look, it advances me, so I have to hire cleaning people in the house.
Trying to clean the house up. That's further in the game. What are you doing?
Right. That's why I had y'all clowns, so they try to clean the house up. Like, get the house clean. I do love you.
Did you give her a secret handshake?
She don't get a secret handshake, all right. She don't get a handshake, all right. Anyway, that's my kids, man. My kids. But some reason or other, she is enamored with this little
kids like the crazy things. I'm not
they're
the
crazy stuff, man. They're like, why is this a thing? She keeps showing me pictures of it. Like, I'm like, why are you showing me this? What's wrong with you? Yes, a baby hippopotamus. I have no idea.
Gladiator girl said, "Don't touch your nose. It's a gang sign." Yeah.
I'm sure. Like, I'm sorry, I touched my nose. There you go.
Oh no!
Shout out to Adrian Love. She in the chat. She in the chat. It's a wrap.
You're dripping now. It's a felony.
Right, there you go. Open up as police. Well,
it's a felony. You're out of here. You're done.
Is that how you pronounce it? Oh, ordering a gang. Okay. No, it's like some little. She is all about this crazy, not crazy, but about this hippopotamus at the zoo. It is hilarious. She's so about it.
I just pray it don't break out with this little storm going on. You know.
Hopefully it's done. I think it's over, right?
I don't know. It's still giving me warnings. Like it's like to 9 p.m. Oh, it is 9. Never mind.
Oh, look what John just said.
What we got? Oh, yeah. You know what? That last name is gonna be King soon. You're gonna change it up.
Change it up. I love
I'm gonna
it.
file a motion. I'm gonna get that in order.
I file a motion.
Yup.
Okay. That is hilarious.
Look, the detective almost had me. I'm not gonna lie. The detective was close. She was real close.
Oh my gosh.
She was close. And then when when she started talking Westmoreland, I said, wait a minute.
Oh my gosh.
Where she's been all my life. Wait a minute.
Where have you been?
What I did.
Westmoreland King.
That brings me to another point. If she would have sent that detective home with Zachary, I guarantee you he would have been the best witness on their team.
That's true.
Guaranteed.
No question about it.
You seen his look? He's like, "Look, can she take me?" If she would have done that, it would have that probably would have ended the trial right there. But she refused.
A lot of my emojis are green, so I don't really know why. I think it was just a luck of the draw that the initial watch this, and I'll tell y'all this tomorrow during the 3-year celebration. A friend of mine made the graphics. He made all these Dear World Christians, and it was green, purple, red, yellow, all these, right? And they're all these different colors. And he's like, "Hey, I need to put something on your banner. Send me one of them." And I literally just grabbed the green one and sent it to him, and that's how we ended up getting the green.
That's
Dear World Christian. So, and now I'm under RICO charges. Now I'm an unindicted co-conspirator.
Unindicted co-conspirator. You're on the list. They just haven't arrested you. That's all.
Man, they got your boy really wondering about going down there to that crazy court.
Look, seen all the green, Mr. Christian.
Yeah, what's up with that? I guess I have a prison.
What is this believe in God method you have here?
Uh-huh.
Are you congregating?
There you go, because that's a gang.
Is that a book? Is that a gang book? The Bible? What
There
is
you go. Oh my gosh, man, it's crazy. Wrong King.
Hey, it's good being up. I appreciate you for having me tonight. I'm gonna get back to my people.
All right, get back to you, folk, man. Tell everybody thank you for allowing us to hang out. Appreciate y'all. Y'all put Rome King in the chat.
All right, I'm out. I'm gonna go watch these greens in the tub. Thanks.
You gonna watch the greens in the tub? Get it, man. Get it.
I got Look, they said if I do it, I'll get a child tax credit. So I got to do what I got to do.
You got to do what you got to do, brother.
All right.
Be good, friend. Talk to you soon.
You too, man.
All right, that was Rome King in the chat. Y'all know Rome King be misbehaving in the chat. Now we've heard him misbehave in 4K. So yeah, put Rome King in the chat. Tell him stop behaving like that. Y'all, I thank y'all so much. I'm trying to read up. So apparently, thankfully, it sounds like Doug is okay, but it sounds like he got caught up with an emergency. So I do apologize for that. So I owe y'all a Doug Weinstein interview. Hopefully we can make this happen sooner than later, because I think that would be a great. I still want him to answer a lot of these questions and tell us what his thoughts were. I had some fun questions too, man. I'm a little sad about that, but I appreciate all of y'all. Thank you all, every last one of y'all, for hanging out with us. It was almost 700 and some change of y'all. So man, it means a lot. I'm glad y'all found it to hang out with us. I do want to say thank you also to Amethyst Angel. She's been a solid supporter of this channel. And I want to say thank you for the $2 super. Thank you, Kristen, for being a member for 2 months. Thank you very much. And Ms. Vasquez, I want to say thank you for reminding us about the the Restoring Artistic Protection Act, which is the RAP Act of 2022. If you're interested in following up or finding out more about that, I did pin that to the top. That's the motion in the bill to encourage the not using rap lyrics in criminal cases unless they're directly tied to an activity, not just an overt act. So definitely check that out. It's pinned to the top of the live chat. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, Rod Factor, man. Not only for the $49.99 super chat, but you are the stream sponsor. I do apologize. We were busy over talking. I should have made you the stream sponsor. I will make you the stream sponsor tomorrow during the 3-year celebration tomorrow. So I really want to say thank you again for that. That's very kind, very supportive of the channel. Thank you so much. Malika, thank you for the $1.99 super sticker. Appreciate you, GT Massive, for giving out 5 memberships. Thank you so much. So if you did get one of those memberships, please tell them thank you so much. Matos, thank you for the $4.99 super. Thank you so much. Again, Kristen, for the $1.99 super. Massive became a member. So thank you for that as well. Mix Chick, I'm enjoying seeing you in the chat, and I thank you for the $9.99 super as well. Ella Williams, thank you so much for the super sticker. And We Watch YouTube became a member as well as giving out a membership. I appreciate that. Thank y'all for extending that out to other people. If you did get a membership, please make sure that you go to the community tab on Dear Woke Christian to see how to join the Discord. Thank you so much, Ashley. I appreciate you. I appreciate you very much. Again, Mixed Chick. Again, Michelle, thank you. And Ashley again. And she's been doing it so much, I just can't help but say thank you again to Doug, blessing 10 people with memberships to the channel. Thank you so much. You've been really blessing the team. So thank you for that. And I appreciate everybody. The new members, welcome to the team. Welcome every last one of y'all. Thank y'all so much. And y'all, everybody, thank you for whether you jumped in on the chat tonight, whether you were in the chat or you jumped on the camera or whatnot. Thank y'all so much. It was a lot of fun. I do apologize again. There was with Doug had an emergency. I will make sure we make that up to y'all in some way or another. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll get Rome King to turn his camera on. I don't know. We'll figure out a way to make it up to y'all. But I really do appreciate all of you all for hanging in there with us tonight. This was a good time, and I really appreciate it. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Got you. Tomorrow is Sunday or Saturday. Please forgive me. I'm going to be doing my 3-year celebration tomorrow. Come on over. We got a lot of fun stuff planned. A lot of the sponsors are going to be doling out various and sundry. So there'll be some gifts given out. I think y'all will enjoy it. It's a good time to talk about where this channel came from and hopefully where this channel is going. And I can tell you this emphatically, this channel is going to be going somewhere faster than the YSL trial is going to get to the jury. That I can promise you. But thank y'all so much, everybody. It's been a lot of fun tonight. And I need to go figure out if the kids are clean the kitchen, because they're trying to extort some Starbucks out of me tomorrow. But everybody, thank you so very much for hanging out with us tonight. Let's do this again tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you all then. And until then, everybody, grace and peace. Take care.